Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I guess I've been away from streaming for another couple weeks and took a break again because, as is now known, I was putting the final touches on a secret major release. ZOM has come to Cogmind. So I just wanted to make sure that was completed finally. I planned on putting it out a couple months ago, but life issues getting in the way, and ZOM turns out to be very complex and expansive, much bigger release than I thought it might be. Wasn't even sure, it was getting kind of big, wasn't even sure if it would work out, but after seeing everyone play it, I am confident that it's been done, I think, pretty well so far. I've had to put out a patch every single day. I took Sunday off, but every single other day since release a week ago. So it's been a week since the release, and we've had to patch 6 patches, I guess, then. Well, including release day, I guess that makes it 5 patches then. But a lot of patches. But it's mostly been pretty smooth. Just the occasional crash in there. Mainly the ZOM effects, so they're pretty easy to track down, and then a few little balance adjustments. But ZOM is now in Cogmind, a whole new way to play the game. Fortunately, also completely compatible with all the other alignments. So there's all kinds of new ways to play. Happy with how that has worked out too. I mean, you can do just all kinds of stuff. Riff ZOM, all the other alignments, imprinted, anywhere you want to go, UFD, all the endings, everything. So it's mixed in there. It's basically just a new layer you can put on top if you want. It's completely optional too. So this is not like the other Unchained, which can dispatch on you. We'll get into a lot more of the details on the mechanics. As I'm playing, I'll talk more about that. We're going to do some background stuff first, I guess, though. Hey everyone, and the Destiny ZOM Gaming. Yes, this is gonna be great. The damage immunity is pretty good. Yeah, you referred to that one bug. Yeah, that wasn't. Oops. Didn't see that one coming. A couple little mistakes in there, but overall it's been quite balanced and as balanced as ZOM will be. But I mean, smooth release overall, especially considering there was no pre-release. So I didn't actually put this out for patrons even. I wanted for years I've wanted to do a surprise release, and ZOM was a really good opportunity to do that. I feel it's very ZOM appropriate, and it was really exciting leading up to that release day. I gotta say, keeping it a secret for so long, and then also suddenly, when I'm ready to release, just throwing the whole thing out there, an actual full major release out with absolutely no advance notice. That was fun. That was obviously surprising. We've seen a lot of runs over the last week. Some people are doing extremely well with ZOM. I mean, it's obviously all over the place, but if you're skilled enough, we've seen Xymexy with already playing one full ZOM run every day, won every single run in a bunch of different ways. So it's doable for sure. A lot of people crashing and burning too. It's still dependent on skill level. ZOM's not going to win the game for you. He might lose the game for you, but he adds challenge, but also some interest. So even newer players, I think, once you've got the basic mechanics down, you can get certainly some fun out of ZOM because he can do a lot of good things and interesting things for you as well, especially if you're going to die anyway. So I think he's probably a lot of fun to play around with for most players. Won the game for a few people. Yeah, especially earlier on. There were a couple things. Anyway, we'll get into the details of that, but he's pretty strong if you can get it to work for you. That's true. But definitely want to keep him all over the place. He's not super balanced like a lot of Cogmind content tends to be. I didn't do weighting, for example. There's no weighting on his effects. There's certain things he will only do once per map or only once per run, or there are other limits like that, but there's no weighting at all. So he won't say I'm more likely to do this in this situation or this now and this later. He doesn't do that. And generally in Cogmind, I tend to lean towards weighting to keep things either fair or interesting or whatever, but ZOM is just chaos, so he doesn't do that. So you can really get a lot of bad effects in a row or a lot of good effects. You just have to deal with it or be happy with it. Whatever happens, if it's good. So, yeah, pretty chaotic, God of Chaos from DCSS. So on that note, I guess we can start a little with the basic background mechanics here. We don't need that. What we got here? So this is the ZOM page on not the Cogmind wiki, the DCSS wiki. We'll get our own ZOM page, I'm sure, coming soon for for Cogmind. It's not out in advance because one, there was no pre-release, so people didn't have time to collect any data on that, and number two, Wizard Mode is not actually available right now. Because I was waiting for people to discover a lot of the other Zom things first. I didn't want to put it out immediately. I've been doing that lately for pre-releases as well. Normally, by the time it gets to public release, that's not an issue. But this is a private public simultaneous release, so we didn't have Wizard Mode. I actually put it in last patch last night, but then I didn't have time to release the key for it, so I was going to do that later, I guess probably today or soon-ish, but wasn't in a hurry to do that. The first thing I was waiting for was people to discover one of the most interesting things I think personally Zom can do, and someone finally discovered it yesterday on accident, one newer player. So now that that's been discovered, I think it's about time to release the key for that. So this is Zom here. If you want the basics on how Zom works, you can actually look at the DCSS wiki, because this is where I started for development of Cogmind Zom. It's supposed to be the same general concept of with the piety and the amusement level, acts, all these things, the same stuff you see here, good and bad actions divided into categories and stuff like that. Is most of this stuff is also implemented in Cogmind in pretty much the same way. Cogmind is nicer than DCS Zom in general, though. Slightly nicer. I'll talk more about the details of that later, I guess. But yeah, we'll get into this as we go. But I just wanted to point out that technically, these are the actual words used in Cogmind for the piety level. Just to cover this real quick, this is the same thing. Piety levels are the same values, even in ranges. Amusement, which in Cogmind publicly on the interface is called entertainment level, and it's also similar. Zom he likes to see chaotic and funny things happen. So he likes funny things, and these are the super important takeaway from all of this, which I think is kind of hard for a lot of people to wrap your mind around, is that Zom, this is, let's see, where they mentioned it in here, I think this is it, this here. Unfortunately, Zom is mostly amused by things you can't control. So you're trying to you don't want Zom to get bored, generally, and you want him to be interested in you. He thinks things are funny and finds you interesting, not bored, but the thing is, he's mostly interested in things you can't control. Now, there are exceptions to that. And there are a few that I've designed in specifically in Cogmind that you can use certain methods to make Zom interested in you. They generally tend to be more chaotic things, though. Like, you can't necessarily predict the results that would happen, things like that. There's a few things like plot points which I've allowed that you can that are pretty chaotic plot points, and you can make the decision to do that, like being very hostile against factions and things like that have bigger repercussions. He'll be interested in that too, but in general, he's mostly amused by things you can't control. I've kept that intact. So if you play really safe and slow and not a lot of interesting things are happening, even if you think personally they're interesting or cool, that he's not going to be amused by that, and he'll start to get bored. And if he gets bored, he's going to start doing a lot of stuff, not necessarily bad stuff, not necessarily good stuff, just a lot of stuff. So he'll get really active, and a hyperactive Zom might be extra bad for you. It might be extra good, but if you're unlucky, it could be extra bad. So you might want to try and avoid it. It's an easier way to get splatted by Zom if things are happening quickly. But anyway, that's the big part of the amusement thing, and you want to keep a lot of different things, give it different levels of interest. And you can do stuff that's good or bad, and all different stuff, all the different things. I went down this whole list to see what might apply to Cogmind, and obviously I added a bunch of my own stuff that applies to Cogmind more uniquely, and tried to adapt some things. There's a whole bunch of different things. So this is why it took forever to work on Zom. I had to go through the entire game and find all the different things that he might be interested in. There's over 100 different things. Had to integrate that all throughout the code, and some of it's hard to detect. Not all of it's hard, but there's just a lot of work involved in that. And then after finally finishing that, after forever, then I had to go and work on all the things he can do, which is also, there's over 100 different types of things he can do, and all of these have subtypes, and all of these have different degrees of effect, and it's pretty big. So the changelog actually for Beta 17, being a major release, was not super long, but most of it is encompassed in just this one new mechanic. All under Zom. But I didn't want to give any details for it, obviously. And I probably should have listed the number of different things. Or not listed, but I mean listed it as as a number of different things he can do, just to kind of emphasize that. But I didn't. I forgot about that. So I just said basically it's on now. And yeah, special things he can summon and all kinds of junk like that. So there's all this stuff he can do, all kinds of crazy stuff. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do with Zom. That's a bit of a background there. So we are, I think, about ready to start my own. Let me check chat real quick here. Been ignoring it while I give it just some basic background here. So. Hey Dosh, I tried to do the Zom run, went to sub cave, stole 100 core integrity, and detached my weapons right when the subs appeared. Yeah, Zom plus sub caves is rather dangerous. I actually did that on all of my pre-release. I did actually some real runs before releasing, which I normally don't even bother doing a lot of, but I had to this time because we didn't have a bunch of pre-release testers. So I did some full runs, and I was going through sub caves on my runs, and Subcaves is already, it's kind of like semi-hard mode, and plus Zom, when he makes it even harder, that's quite dangerous. One of my runs was pretty memorable because I went in there and he reduced me to 1 prop slot. So you reduce in the beginning of the game. You're weak, and you don't have a lot of flexibility, and he can take that away from you, or he rearranges you and messes you up. I was down to 1 prop slot, and at least I had weapons, but having only 1 prop slot, it was hard for me to move around and do stuff by comparison. But yeah. So as Destinim says, Cogzom is slightly more benevolent. He is. I designed him to be a little more benevolent than DCS's Zom. He's kind of weighted. I mean, I just said not doing weighting, but individual acts are not weighted as such. But what I mean is the design is a little leaning towards being beneficial for Cogmind. Only if you can keep your entertainment up. I was going to mention this later, but I guess I'll talk about it now since somebody brought it up. In DCSS, the entertainment level actually doesn't mean anything until you hit 0. In Cogmind, I decided to change that because in DCSS, show it then. I guess the whole amusement mechanic. I might as well pull this up since this is relevant to the wiki here. It's important. This whole section on amusement and his level of amusement. Basically, when he gets bored, when it reaches 0, he's going to go crazy on you, which could be really good or really bad. And this is a hidden value in DCSS. You don't actually know until he's actually bored. You can kind of guess maybe because you can see he's amused at stuff, but been really amused lately, so he's probably not going to get bored soon. And it also tells you when he's close to getting bored, but that's all it tells you. In Cogmind, you can constantly see the actual value using a new item specific to Cogmind. That's one of the big differences. Anyway, so since you can see that value and going up and down, you can see what effect it has. I wanted to give the player a little more agency in that regard, and a little more agency and a little more information, which then would, hopefully mean it's slightly more beneficial. So there is in Cogmind a bonus depending on your level of amusement. So that's not something DCS has. It's more of a DCS in that case is Dungeon Crawl, I should say, is more of a it's more of a binary thing, but it's a scale in Cogmind. So you can, if you keep your amusement level or entertainment really high, it is beneficial to do that. So that's another reason you don't really want Zom to be bored in Cogmind, because it actually does mean you're more likely to get worse effects too. So it's extra. Being bored is extra bad by comparison in Cogmind compared to normal. There's a difference there. Let me see what else. Swapped out one of my weapon slots when the last one in sub-games. Yeah. Organize a safe floor for an hour. Yeah. You don't want to spend too much time dilly-dallying with Zom in play. It's definitely not in your best interest to do that. All right. Let's see what we got here. And that's out of the game now. But there were the Terror Bomb and sub caves. So that was patched out. A couple of different effects that we didn't. Me and the other one playtester of the pre-release, one playtester before the game went out, we didn't get that effect, and so didn't realize how bad that might be. But yeah, you could actually open all the earth in sub-caves, which reveals sub-dwellers technically, and then that will completely obliterate you if it happens, or it's likely to. It's not for guaranteed, but if you don't have the pendant or aren't lucky enough to be near an exit or something, you could get really obliterated if you did that. So I removed that. There's a few things that I removed from Zom, which would be just completely unfair, and it's kind of funny, but it's not really worth leaving in something like that. So I actually removed that from him in one of the patches, but not much of that has been done. Also, I guess in this latest patch, we removed one of the things for command, one of the redacted level areas in Cogmind. He could teleport you into an area which is going to probably ruin your run. So, and that's the end of the game. So remove that too. All right. Yeah, you survived because his flight. Yeah, so it was pretty crazy. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to run the game now, and we're actually gonna get in here, and I'm gonna go worship Zom. Although I'm not actually gonna worship Zom. I'm gonna do the not worshiping Zom part of worshiping Zom. There are multiple ways to trigger Zom. All right, so in we go. I'm gonna skip the intro here. Boom. All right. We are ready to start. I should be playing the latest version, 29A. All right, yeah, I have to check because I'm actually on the testing branch right now. But I put the build that's going on with my testing branch first to make sure it's working and everything. So should be the same as the release branch. All right. Dosh asks a very important question. Is there a Zom effect you really wanted to add, but listen to your better judgment? Of course there are. Now, I have a even longer list of Zom effects, and as I was going through all of them and you're just implementing them one by one, especially towards the end where I got to my list of major effects, I left out like half of those because they would either be just generally too disruptive or more rage inducing. Like some specifics, I guess one was to actually just, which isn't terrible I guess, but call one of the other Unchained after you. But they would only chase you for one floor, the current floor you're on. I thought that'd be kind of interesting, but I left it out for now. That was one of them. I haven't looked in the list in a while, so I kind of forgot some of the others. One would be to take you to a completely different level. That's another one, which could be fun and interesting, but again, slightly too disruptive to a real run. I kind of want you to be able to combine Zom with every faction, and that also means going to certain maps that you want to go to, right? So him taking you from one map to a completely different map would kind of work against that. Yeah. Straight into extension from a garrison, please. It would be a little too disruptive. There's a few other big ones like that. I don't remember. It's mainly big ones, though. I don't think there was a lot of small ones that were left out. There was a couple, actually. No, one in particular, because I remember distinctly because I started implementing it, and it was just going to be too much work. And it was actually from the DCSS list. So Dungeon Crawl, I looked at, again, like I said, I went through the Dungeon Crawl list of Zom effects and wanted to see, what kind of ideas they incorporated in there and what might be applicable to a Cogmind. One of the cool ones I thought would be fun was one where Zom just puts up walls between walls. I think in Dungeon Crawl, it's he surrounds you with walls, something like that. Or, in Cogmind, that wouldn't be as cool. What I wanted to do was put a big wall between you and all your enemies. Now, deciding how and where to do that, it was feasible. I worked out the design for it, and I even started writing a bunch of code that would have done it, but the code just got more and more complex to do properly and make it interesting, and I just gave up halfway through. This is not going to be worth it. It's a neat effect, but it's just not worth it. So I gave up on that. That was one of like a medium, just regular old effects, not a major effect. So that one was more memorable. Anyway, yes. Hey, good news, I'm 20 minutes into the stream and we're still in Scrapyard. Well, we actually just got to the Scrapyard. If you just dropped in, I opened it just literally moments ago. You missed the whole intro. You'll have to go back and watch that. Although it's probably stuff you know for the most part. Just some background. Add the Abyss, yeah. Well, we can send you to see the, abominations. You can, maybe Zom can do something with abominations, right? A method to force Zom's amusement mood to 0. I mean, I'm not really planning on that, but we'll see later. A random cave in? Well, I don't random cave in, but Toenail Golem. Force that play flight hack? Yeah, want to suffer. I mean, that is a way, I think, it isn't easy to do. I think GJ was playing around with that idea, the idea of forcing Zom to be bored or trying not to do interesting things for a while. It's pretty hard, though, I think. It's not impossible, certainly, to keep Zom's entertainment low. But the thing is, just like Dungeon Crawl, and I think maybe a lot of people haven't necessarily noticed it yet, but if Zom does get bored, he throws out a bunch of rapid-fire effects. But eventually, purely he'll eventually just get slightly, you could say, slightly amused at his own effects. Basically, he gets a free boost to entertainment eventually. It's random. It's when you see the special text in the log that says Zom is intrigued. That's what it is, and that's the same thing from Dungeon Crawl. Basically, it's otherwise you end up in this permanent loop of just bad effects until something interesting actually happens. So it's not necessarily something interesting, but he gets intrigued. And this is, I think, in some cases, it's tied into one of the. I think the chance is higher if tension is higher. There's another concept in Dungeon Crawl, especially with respect to Zom, the idea of tension, where basically it's kind of a way to quantify the amount of danger you're in. And I did my own formula for Cogmind based on that, which is based on a ton of different factors. And it basically quantifies it in a number of the current tension. So when I was playing my own runs, I actually had readouts that showed me other details, like for example, what the current tension level is, and I had to watch that as I play through the whole run to make sure it was reasonable and accounted for correctly, because a lot of things Zom does can be based on that. For example, like teleporting. If he's going to teleport you into danger, or if he wants to rescue you, or stuff like that. A lot of this can depend on the amount of tension. In fact, that also plays into how good the effects are sometimes. If you're in a lot of danger, and he thinks you're in danger, then he's interested, and the effects might be slightly better, that kind of thing. So anyway, all right. So let's actually start to play. Okay, so let's see where my cursor's off. I'm actually going to start moving and playing now. That was the background info. We'll get to the rest as we go. I'm going to go worship Zom, and probably should not. Shouldn't go to certain dangerous branches, maybe, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. We could die too, I guess. Where you at, guys? Let's do it. No. Come back here. I wouldn't mind starting with seismic so we can get in there quick. Here we go. Wait, nope, there we go. Okay. Boom. Alright, wait, I should pick up some more matter. Might as well. Getting bored in a good mood is nice. Yeah, exactly. Until he suddenly changes to a bad mood on the first effect, and you can't tell anyway, since the mood is hidden. Well, that's... The mood's only hidden if you aren't using your tracker, right? So we're gonna get to the tracker part soon. That is one of the more unique elements of Cogmind Zom is the tracker, which you find out about immediately. Alright. Gonna ignore the terminal. There's an exit. Don't really... Actually, that's probably leads to the mines, though. Look at that. Flight unit! We hate those. Not finding a lot of stuff over here, am I? Here comes a watcher. Guess I could take him out. Or I should. Oops. Okay, he went the other way. What? Oh, there's a hidden door. Check it out. He's telling us where the hidden doors are. Alright, let's go down this way. Alright, that turned out to be the same. Just wanted to go that way in case this upper area opened up into a wider space. Uh-oh. When he's bored, he covers up the mood. Oh, right. Oh, Ayamoko's pointing that out. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. When he's bored, he covers up the mood. I love it. Very good. Yes, he does indeed do that. I forgot about that. I have not played Zom in a while. Like I said, I did I guess it was a little, like a week and a half ago or so. I did a couple runs. A couple of pretty full runs. He only came out a week ago? Yes, but I've been doing patches every day. I forget a lot of the nuance. Also, he never got bored in my runs, that's for sure. I'm not going to let Zom get bored. Oh, look at these assault rifles. Nice. Not gonna let Zom get bored on my watch. So yeah, I never actually saw him bored as a player. Oh, I remember how it works. That is a slight detail. That would require playing to remember. Hello there. Yep, we're still looking for... I doubt I'm gonna be able to kill this guy. Yep, no. Oh, shoot, I don't want to sit in this room. Here, we'll sit in this room. Hey, guys. No friends, huh? Our technique says only got bored a couple times, my friends. Slow sub-caves exploration. Yeah, if you try and like sub-caves, you can start to get bored because it's the early game. You will probably not have had as many sources of entertainment. It's one of the more dangerous areas because you're weaker, you're less flexible. His entertainment's probably lower, and if you go to sub-caves, like which is a pretty big map, and you're exploring a lot of it, that's going to be a problem too. So we are basically looking for the way... Alright, so it looks like there's an exit right to down here to the southeast. Probably no other rooms. Man, I don't have a way to get through the wall yet. Oops. Alright, mercenary, come on. I don't actually need to repair anything, otherwise we could use this guy. Of course, after this I might want to repair something. No, that's okay. We're good. Grab another leg while I'm at it. Oh, there's a cache here. Oh yeah, caches are often found near stair entrances and exits, just because the entrances and exits to the to materials tend to have longer corridors that don't necessarily have anything adjacent to them. So yes, we'll take some heavy assault rifles. Improved light cannons too. What a cache. Yeah, look at that. There's even improved hover units there. But hover, we love those? No, I don't love those. Hover's probably pretty good with Zom, though, because you can fight stuff, but you can also reposition. So strategy-wise, Zom is... You generally want to be kind of flexible to play with Zom, because he can mess with you, right? And that's easier to do if you have both speed and power, naturally. And hover can give you that. Will there be 4 weapons by -9? You know, that's probably not a good idea. I've done that before. I mean, the thing is, Zom can drop one of your slots. So if he does that, and you have only 2 slots of something, that turns into 1, and that's pretty bad. Make him 5 weapons, exactly. So honestly, with Zom, my personal preference. All right, we found our way forward. My personal preference with Zom would be to stay actually a little more balanced in terms of slots. Single slot utility Zom is painful? Yeah. Yeah, I prefer to remain a little more balanced. So we found Zom. He's in this area right here. So if I want, we could just wait for him. So, like with the sub-caves, I wanted to kind of hide the sub-caves mostly from newer players, make it a little harder to get. So, you know, the sub-caves, as many of you know, have to be excavated on -10. And so when I needed a place to put Zom, which was in the early game, and not as likely to be found by newer players, you know, there's only so many places to do that. Or not just early game, but literally right at the start. I wanted you to be able to start with Zom from the beginning. So it was either put him in the scrapyard somewhere, like make him get excavated in the scrapyard, but honestly, that's even more likely probably that newer players would find it that, and also then you also have to wait for them to dig it out in that case, which was less interesting overall. So I decided to put it right next to the sub-caves entrance, because that was already kind of a, you know, a built-in, wait, where'd the tunneler go? A built-in part of the game. Yeah, I mean, it could be near the entrance, you know, in the scrapyard. It doesn't have to mean you have to wait that long, but still, you'd have to wait, and technically you have to wait here, but it's at least part of a normal thing, and it's near the sub-caves entrance. Where the hell did the tunneler go, actually? What the heck? What's this guy doing? Just passing by. Oh, okay, well, here comes the tunneler. And hopefully he doesn't get shot in a second. Oh, engineer. Alright. Good old doorway strats. Oh wait, what do I have? I have a large stored in my inventory, small attached. Yeah, it's fine. Now you're the tunneler. It's true, we can just dig him out too. Theoretically, I guess one thing that I thought had happened earlier is someone actually came in here and didn't find the terminal. And that's because in the very first release, the intent was to kind of protect it from newer players. So if you were playing the tutorial, this terminal would not be here. It would just be an empty space. I removed that. I put it back in because I didn't think that was going to matter too much anyway. Because when you step up to this terminal, this is the DCSS alter unit. You know, if a new player sees this anyway, they're not going to know what to do here. Probably anyway, right? I mean, if they do, then okay, it's fine. But so yeah, so this is a terminal. There's nothing you have no idea what to do here unless you know. Well, I mean, you read the announcement, or maybe you just guess randomly. I saw some people guessing some pretty funky random stuff and hadn't. Some people didn't actually know what to do here. Even with the announcement, but I mean, the announcement didn't say it explicitly either, though. In the game, so the in-game lore, there is a way to get a clue on what you do here, a fairly clear clue, I think, and that is via Clippy term in the subcaves. So again, something more advanced players will be finding and learning eventually, assuming you didn't find it out elsewhere. So yeah, there are multiple different ways to trigger Zom here. Originally when I first released, there were only 3. I think there's now like 5 or 6. And the question is, yeah, I really want to know sacrifice. You can actually, there's a lot of things you can type here. You can type worship, and that works. You can do the basic intent. The original intent was just pray at an altar, right? You can also do this. Whoops, no, you'd spell it right if you did it. I'm not going to press enter because all that does is remove half of your core. It does nothing else. Well, it does get Zom's attention, but it doesn't give you anything else. I will say that explicitly. I have implied it. In fact, I did say it at one point in Discord, but I think a lot of people missed it. It doesn't actually give you anything else. It only has one effect. That effect is, I mean, the one effect is the obvious one. It takes half your core away. Mug Boy says still doing it anyway. All this does is take half your core. It doesn't give you any benefits. So the reason I didn't want to do that, because that would it'd be neat. Obviously my original thought was, well, if we could do sacrifice and it basically gives you some negative effect in exchange for some positive thing. It's harder to balance that since it's early game anyway, so which means the negative effect would also have to be longer than just a core loss, because core loss doesn't really mean too much here. I mean, it takes half your core, so what? I mean, even if it drops you to 1 core, people are just going to risk it, maybe die, maybe don't die, just for some benefit, right? And because it's the early game. The early game, you can't really do stuff like that. The design isn't flexible enough, so it would have to be some kind of long-term balance thing. So it would be like a whole different thing to work in, and that's not really where this is going. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sacrifice. Why would I sacrifice? It's not going to matter anyway. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to the sub-caves. I don't think I should go to the sub-caves anyway. I was going to basically just try to do just normal stuff. What are you telling me to sacrifice or why? Okay, I mean, I could, but you have to get your karma points up by losing half your core. Yeah, that's the other assumption, was like, maybe Zom likes you more at the start if you sacrifice, and he doesn't. I didn't want to have any benefits whatsoever. Sacrifice to sub-caves is the meta? That is definitely not the meta. So there's other things you can enter. The original ones were those. I actually added in I think just P works. That doesn't even work in Dungeon Crawl anymore. The original Dungeon Crawl command for praying was P. So if you just press P, that works too. As is, like, just this would work and just this would work, I think. All of these work. So yeah, I think there's 6 possibilities. I think there's 6. Not 7. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of them. The benefits exist outside the game's code. Yeah. I did include the key presses. Yeah. So I didn't. They weren't in the original, but someone brought it up that they tried that, and I said, well, that's got to be in there. I mean, it makes sense, right? It doesn't really matter. They're just fun anyway. So I put in all the other ones possible commands you can do. So we can just do a good old P. I'm just going to do it pretty. There we go. So, a new toy? Yes, so that dispatches... Oh, you tried the, I see, yeah, the angle bracket standing by the altar, didn't think to type it in, yeah. So, he is risen. Chaos is inevitable. I got an achievement. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Prototype device on the ground here. Achievement. Got my new achievement. This is now. If you... Chaos is inevitable. This is just to let us know that you are worshipping Zom in screenshots and to remind you yourself. So this now takes over our status bar here from all of the other possibilities that could be there. So as I was saying before, people are talking about, you know, like your build type and whatever that you can have showing there. You know, more and more things are taking over that space for your permanent faction relation type stuff. There's still more to come in that regard, I'm sure. But this is yet another example of it. So we now have to remove our seismic detector if I want to pick up this thing on the ground. So yeah, this just tells us we don't know Zom's mood, so I'm going to put on our piety tracker. Okay, we started entertainment 8, that's not very great. So, you start with a random amount of entertainment, but it's not high, it's somewhere low-ish, but 8 is pretty low, it can be a decent bit higher than that. This is Zom's piety tracker. It now tells us Zom's current mood. Our current mood with Zom is average. So we're kind of in the middle. He's not, he's just average. His mood is just average. And it's colored as such too. You can learn what the terms mean, but also you can kind of watch the color. It gets brighter and brighter greens if he's happy, until it gets to teddy bear, in which case it uses Zom's favorite color, which is pink. And then also, again, it gets orange and redder if he's not in a great mood for you. And so here is the actual tracker itself. So, does two things. Clarity as to Zom's current mood and level of amusement. Oh, I guess it's technically 3 things total. You get to know this, his mood, which can be useful information because it means he's more likely to do something good or bad. Right now it's kind of even. And it also lets you know his entertainment level, which means how close you are to being bored, which also allows you to see more specifically the numbers of, you know, is he getting, what kind of reactions he's having to what's going on. You can see the actual numbers for all those, the actual number values for all those effects and how they're affecting things. So this can go all the way up to 100. Eventually you get to 2 stars, which in all these labels, if anything hits stars, that means you're maxed. And maxed for the number of digits. So it goes above 99, it's just 100, and you're capped there if you actually reach that. Some things can send you straight to 100. Which is pretty good. Only super major things can do that. But normally you're working with cumulative stuff that will work you towards that, and then it drops over time. So over time, Zom becomes less and less entertained if you're not doing anything to entertain him, naturally. So the other thing, though, the piety tracker does, which is different, there's nothing like this in Dungeon Crawl. I wanted to have some kind of player agency and decision-making involved with your Zom relationship. And the tracker enables more of that, because if you don't have this thing on, not only can you not see his mood or entertainment level, his entertainment falls faster. So you generally want to have this thing on you if you are following Zom. You do not have to, though. You can rip it off and replace it with something if you want. He'll give you another one. He'll keep giving you these things as you travel. So, you don't have to worry about losing it, technically. In fact, he's kind of amused if it gets blown off of you, but it has rather low coverage, so you can't rely on this as a reliable method to gain entertainment. Keep losing it, because you're going to be losing other stuff in the meantime anyway. It's not very effective. Plus, there's actually cooldowns on entertainment types, so you can't keep repeatedly using your tracker to get entertainment. Some things are repeatable. They don't have no cooldown. Some things do have cooldown in that regard. So anything, wherever it was realistic to do that. So yeah, Dodge is asking here, how bad is it not using the tracker at all times? So yeah, if you do want Zom to hit boredom much more quickly, you just don't go with the piety tracker. That is a quicker way to do this. And some people have been doing that, running Zom mostly bored a lot of the time, or trying to. You can do that. It's just risky. So yeah, just throw this away, and that's one of your main ways to do that. What else we got here? So yeah, but getting your tracker shut off does help with entertainment, correct? So say that, but I swear I lose it in every encounter. Well, I mean, it depends on your build too. If you don't have any coverage, you're gonna lose it. But infinite FRU matter. Yes, with this tiny little part, 5 integrity. Rating 10 prototype. Okay, so yeah, that's. All right, so we are now a toy of Zom. Zom is gonna start doing stuff to us eventually. 100 is the cap. You can't go over that, Crackle Peppy. Yeah. So, 1 second here. Get some water. All right. Infinite transmog fuel. Yes, the transmogrifier. Wait, actually, the transmogrifier ignores your piety tracker itself, though. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think the transmogrifier ignores the tracker. Staying at 100. I mean, yeah, I could stay at 100. I mean, the thing that it doesn't. If you got it on, it's less likely to drop anyway. Okay, so one quick thing I wanted to mention, mechanically speaking, because since we were talking about build types and flight versus not flight and things like that, is Cogmind's timers. So Zom uses one of Cogmind's newer timer types, which I've been migrating towards using whenever I can use them, whenever it's realistic to use them, and that is, you know, the whole movement timer idea. We've always had some instances of that in the past, like very isolated, specific instances, usually plot-related stuff or other, just very specific things. But once the Unchained were added, I kind of more codified that and made it a more official in-game thing with like its own structure and way to control that. Basically, where you can, it's a timer that can be based on both time and movement. So there's both timers simultaneously, and whichever one triggers first can reset the timer, but basically it's 2 different ways to trigger something, because we need a way to, I mean, if everything's completely turn-based, which is how Cogmind started, literally everything was turn-based, no movement-based triggering at all. If everything works like that, the fact that you can get insanely fast in Cogmind, fast speeds, much faster than in other roguelikes, it really throws off the balance. Now, that doesn't mean we want to completely remove the benefit of being fast. Like, for example, in the case of the Unchained. So the Unchained use these new timers in a lot of areas, where either a lot of movement or a lot of turns passing, either one can trigger stuff, can advance things. And so that matters, for example, for dispatching. You know, they're going to dispatch faster on you if you're very fast and you're moving a whole lot everywhere. That will still get them dispatching faster. But you still have the advantage that once they're dispatched, they're going to move at their own speed. So that we're not like completely taking away the advantage of flight there. It's still going to be quite useful. But it does make things a little more fair. And so Zom uses the same type of triggering system, so you can't really get away from Zom by being fast. But exactly in the same way with the Unchained, being faster, however, helps you mitigate some of the negative effects, because you can easily reposition, you can get away from stuff, you can do things like that. So again, you're not completely losing it, it just really adds, I think, a lot more balance to the whole thing, which I think has been playing out properly based on what I've seen. And in fact, I guess I should mention this too. I think, yeah, this was covered in the Beta 17 announcement, the release announcements, the release notes about the Unchained. I did again adjust their triggers to make them, 1, a little slower, and number 2, adjust the balance there between the whole movement turn timer balance thing to increase to make it a little more lenient on slow prop. So yeah, I think there was a number of different timers related to the Unchained that weren't fair enough to slower prop. So yeah, the Unchained were, you could say, I mean, they were nerfed a bit in that case. Just one of several cases where they were adjusted to make them a little less harsh in Beta 17 going forward. But yeah, it's just Plexion, it's just 2 timers at once, and they can both reset them. reset it. So yes, that is how the timers work for this. So we can't really get away by being fast. So speed is less of an issue. Unless you're super slow. If your speed, now, so that's one difference, true. If you are really slow, like your overweight treads, then you are at a disadvantage. No, I will say that. Because you go beyond the turn threshold, because it's balanced kind of so that, you spend enough turns moving that you're going to trigger that even faster than it was planned for. But, vice versa, if you're moving at a more normal-ish speed, then you won't have to deal with that. All right, so back to actually playing. So I wasn't planning on going to subcaves, really. I was just going to head towards the next floor, and we could decide where to go from there. Let's see what else is going to happen. No effects yet, so we'll start talking more about that as other effects happen. The actual acts that can then occur. And got too few weapons. Need another weapon. I should probably also have a medium storage, huh? I probably should have killed that guy. Come back here. Where are you? Not coming back. Not after I shot him. Why did I shoot you? They're just kind of sitting here shooting guys. Oh, there's a blade trap. Could have gotten some entertainment there. I don't know, if I waste too much time, it's going to take forever. I'm just going to leave. I don't want to get on board. Well, actually, I wouldn't mind it. Alright. I'm going to do... Zom can take away slots, so the first thing I'm going to do is give two things that I don't want to be taken away, and that is prop and weapon. Although he could reduce this then to one utility, so yeah, getting away from that would be nice. I always loot -10 fully. Oh, I mean, it could. I normally don't care too much about it. I would actually if we're not on Zom, though. Yeah, it's not that hard. So, trap extractor. Unless subcaves. Yeah, subcaves would be not a good idea. Let Zom make it 0 power. Be very unfriendly. Yeah, I actually did look into 0 slots. Not for Zom purposes though. It was just because it came up in a topic and in chat. And it'd be something I'd like to do if I could. Allowing the player to reduce to 0 slots, meaning through the CPC. But I decided, well, I mean, I might do, oh, finally. Okay, alright, well, that's just temporary. So we got one effect here. Plus 800 energy capacity. We don't have a ton of energy. This is temporary, though. All Zom effects are temporary unless otherwise stated. So we didn't get, like, some permanent boost or whatever. This is just some extra energy. This would be nice if we were further along. We had like shields and stuff. That'd be good for powering our shields. Oh, I was probably gonna hit alarm trap here. Yeah, as I predicted, alarm trap. Oh, also a sentry. All right. Hey, go away. While you come at me, I'm going to study the heavy assault rifle. While you were busy chasing me, I studied the heavy assault rifle. Actually, I wouldn't be overweight probably, but whatever. I'm just gonna like, oh, that was fast. Whatever. That's okay. I studied the heavy assault rifle. Time to kill this guy with my newfound knowledge of heavy assault rifle accuracy. 100%. Oh my god. Okay. Who needs the assault rifle study? We just obliterated that guy. Zom uses you as a vessel of destruction. So if you look at the combat log, Zom ranged attack. It doesn't tell you what it is. Wait, where's my... Here we go. I just wanted to point it in. Zom ranged attack. I mean, you can see it up here too. It's the same thing. We destroyed him. We completely blasted his core. That was, yeah, so that's the thing. You have to guess which weapon it was, or know through Cogmind knowledge. Not that you don't have to know, but it's just an extra piece of info, right? You don't, otherwise people are going to be like, what was that? We've seen he can use some extremely powerful weapons to hurt the enemy, including things that are very hard or extremely hard to get or even find. And so it's going to surprise people. Look, we're literally in -9 materials. He just used a late game weapon to obliterate that guy. Zom SST. Not that though. No, I actually went through and manually assigned which weapons he's allowed to fire. so obviously I'm gonna pick some cool ones, but not the ones that will obliterate you. But yeah, so that was cool. I guess we didn't need to study after all. Point blank with his own pot cannon. I'm sure he can do that. I will say, in cryptic terms, he used the L. We saw someone. He is capable of using the LC, and he used it in someone's run in command and barely missed MC. It was pretty funny while they were going through Doko. That was a hilarious screenshot. Gotta say. He almost killed him. That would have been so funny. I mean, it's already funny. What is his power level? I don't know. Find out more in the future, maybe. Maybe not. Alright, we got a new thing. Oh god. Oh, we got one of the worst effects. Oh, melee accuracy. I do like melee accuracy, but it's only 5. Aw. Alright, so we got our first perma effect. So I'll talk about that for a second here. Any self-respecting guy will have their pound of flesh. We just lost some core integrity. We now have 350. You're going to see some people with strange core integrity values if they're running Zom. Because he can take away your core permanently. He can also give you core permanently. So your max core numbers are going to be off in a lot of Zom runs. So he took away 50 only. It's a small amount though. You know, you don't. The melee accuracy is actually less of a bonus, but it tends to not cost too much. So that's one of our permanent effects. He gives you these generally towards the beginning of your run, and not because it's weighted that way, but because it's capped. He can only give you 3 of these across the duration of your run. So simply by the fact that he can only give you 3, well, you're going to randomly probably get them earlier because when he's doing effects, right? And then after that, you're just going to stop getting them. Now, you know, I could have had him wait and kind of space it out, but I thought it was cool that it works that way actually, because basically he's going to give you basically some effects that might determine how you want to play your run. Like for example, he can give you extra support, innate support for your build. He can give you a lot of extra matter storage or energy storage, these kinds of things which might kind of influence what you want to do for the run, and I thought it's cool that that comes early, right? I like that aspect of it. I didn't think spacing it out was going to be something we'd really want to do anyway. Otherwise, I could do that, or at least reduce it to 1 per map or something like that. But yeah. And he can also give you permanent max core integrity, so he doesn't only take away. That can actually be one of the effects. So he can cancel out his own permanent reductions by giving you permanent extra integrity, but that does count as one of them. So it depends on, yeah, if you want core integrity or not. So make it 7 or 8%. Well, it's random. It's based on magnitude. It could have been 10. It's based on currently what's going on. The magnitude of the effect, which is magnitude is, you can look it up in Dungeon Crawl, but it can easily be higher. I literally got the lowest roll of the worst effect. So it could have been much higher. Well, not much. It could have been double that. Easy if we were lucky, but we weren't lucky, so. Oh, nice. Dosh first run, Zom run got a perma matter to like 550 and perma like 500 energy story. That's pretty cool, yeah. Those are pretty good ones. Oh god. Okay, we just, apparently we're lucky again, which is nice because if you see here, it currently says Plaything of Zom, and it is slightly orange. If you're a Plaything, then that's semi-bad for you. Slightly, that means that's he's not in a slightly poor mood, or in a more of a, you would necessarily bad mood. It's just wants to mess with you, basically. Mess with you in a bad way instead of mess with you in a good way. All right, so Vomits items everywhere. That's all he could do, though. That was only, yeah, that was, I accidentally released a patch where I forgot to remove my, what I was testing right before I released it. That was dumb. Yeah, I didn't mark it for some reason. Anyway, what I did right after patching that was also go back in and make it so that I can't actually do that in the future, even by accident. Okay, so what have we got in here? There's a bunch of traps sitting around. Oh, my storage sucks still. Means I can't take a bunch of stuff. Doesn't seem like amazing drops though. So basically he teleported us. It says here, someone left a few trinkets here. So this is one of Zom's, can be one of Zom's better effects. It can happen, you know, at any depth. We're at a very low depth, so it's not great, but he teleported us to a room where it's basically a little vault. He dropped a bunch of stuff in here too. They can do a similar type of thing in Dungeon Crawl. So, but this is early game, so this stuff is not super amazing like it can be. Once you're in the mid game, these rooms are super awesome. There's a cobbler there, yeah. You can get a lot of stuff in these rooms though that you are actually very hard to get normally, or only comes from special places. He can give you a lot of interesting stuff. Hybrid deuterium engine. I've never even used one of those. I should pick that up. But yeah, the rest of the stuff's actually not like super amazing. There's prototype energy gun, that might be okay, but it can actually be faulty too. All right, let's let's use the hybrid deuterium engine, and then also I'm going to find out what this is. This is a precision beam rifle. Okay, that's pretty good. That's not bad. And I should pick up one of the power maul. We're definitely gonna pick up power maul. Cobbler unit's the best item in the game, though. I don't know about with Zom. You have to stand around cobbling stuff. It gives you the real best item in the game, multi-tool. Multi-tool is awesome. I'm proud that Zom could probably just give you that directly too. Oh, that's what Zion is for? Oh. You're taking the Cobbler unit all the way to Zion? That's true. Okay, so that's another thing. Comment brought up in chat here, which is worth talking about for just a second, is plot maps. And not just plot maps, but really the friendly maps. That's how we should refer to them. You know, all the different maps where there aren't hostilities going on, all the derelict communities. These... you know, how does that interact with Zom? Well, he basically kind of lets you be in those maps. You know, unless something bad starts to happen in those maps, and he gets really interested in that. But, yeah, and when you enter the map, it'll give a little notice about it. A specific notice unique to each one. But the idea is, I wanted Zom to be compatible with all of the different factions, and... so I didn't want him to really interrupt the whole peaceful map kind of thing. As fun as it would be, most of his effects would actually have been okay. I did come up with a list of possibilities and things that would need to be addressed, and there weren't too many actually. One of the main things is he can create enemies, right? Well, what if he creates like main C bots in a friendly map, you know? Well, the locals are going to have to respond to that, and that can start to lead to other kinds of chaos. It's cool, it's chaotic, it is very in theme with Zom, but I didn't think that really worked well in Cogmind, so I ended up blocking him. But, yeah, in the very first pre-release, which only 2 of us played, it was possible, actually, for him. He was still active in those maps. So, like, you know, you go to Scraptown, and Zom can summon enemies and start to kill stuff. So yeah, I didn't actually. I don't know if I think I might have taken that out by the time I had played some runs. I think Captain Winky. So Captain Winky was the playtester for Beta 17, and he visited Scraptown while Zom was active, and he could summon enemies. So yeah, we know about that. So I had to make a decision on how to deal with that and before release, and decided to we wanted to keep the balance for that. He's chaotic enough everywhere else, right? Yeah, what he does is the entertainment still drops though in those maps. So if you spend a lot of time there, it will drop. but it can't drop to being bored. It drops to very low numbers. So if you do waste time there, you are technically impacting his long-term entertainment level. It's true. It won't drop to bored though. It stops at I think 5, which is pretty low. It's pretty close to needing to quickly do something to increase his entertainment. All right, back to the game. Yeah, a lot of prototype engine also. Maybe I should grab that and at least find out what it is. Katana's nice. I already picked up our power mall here. Let's see. Let's find out what this is. Cooled ion engine. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, anyway, I mainly just wanted to identify it. I'm gonna take this hybrid deuterium. Man, we get 1600 energy cap. I really need a force field. Anyway, but yeah, not really a lot of. The traps are kind of nice actually, but they're all different types, and I didn't grab the extractor earlier, which is small anyway. Proton bomb trap. That's actually no. All right. Anyway, corruption is currently 0. I'm just gonna. There. That doesn't make Zom happy, but makes me happy. If a squad happens to go through there, but it's not likely to happen. Okay, so let us continue onward in our journey as I completely ignore terminals. There we go. Sort of storage though. I get some later. No, wait. Well, I mean, I'm carrying a large storage. I just need to actually put it on. Let's see. We're gonna need. Dealing a problem. So far, not a lot has happened, but it's also because I've been moving pretty quickly. Advanced beam rifle. Wow. Okay. Oh, that one was damaged, right? One wheel. The one wheel. Let's leave that in my inventory for now. Force booster. Oh. Hello there, Commando. Oh wait, I have a slot here. Could have put on my seismic detector. Put that on later. Oh shoot, yeah, my aim sucks. Come on, there's an engineer in the way, don't do that. Yep, I was gonna say, surely there's only that one hunter you're calling, right? Nope, there was another one. Alright, so what's over there? Force boosters, remote attachment, improved titanium legs. Nice. Guess I do need another utility now. Targeting computer. Shoot. Defender, huh? Alright. Alright, this guy needs to die. Oops. Okay, no, you need to die instead. Sorry, heat is good. Yep, lots of dead enemies. Ooh, wait, that's probably armor in. Yeah, alright, I'll take that. Wait a minute, don't I have a grenade launcher? I do. There, eat the good. Oh, line of fire blocked. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to shoot this guy, huh? Yeah, just pull back. What was that? Ah, destruction impeded. Alright, what's our entertainment? Is down to 5 already. Shoot. Oh wait, whoops, he's right here. Good legs? Yeah, I plan on swapping to the legs. What I wanted to do was kill everyone first since they're going to lose integrity anyway. Ooh, what happened? +2 weapon slots? Oh, alright. +2 weapon slots. Lost my wheel. That's not really depressing. There's a treads down there, but I don't need that. Okay, let's do some swapping. Actuator array. Yeah, so I was planning on going to the legs here. Just had to finish off all these other guys first. Wheel. Oops. Okay. Plaything of Zom. At present, entertainment is down to 5. We are not being very entertaining so far. We have done very little. Actually, branches are pretty decent for entertainment sources too, so shouldn't like completely avoid them or anything. Look at that prototype flight. Where's my FRU when I need it? Prototype ballistic gun. That's got to be good. Oh yeah. Oh wait, what? None of these others match. Okay. Fine then. Oh, improve EM shotgun. Oh, he used one of my legs. That's okay. All right, these are all EM shotguns. Great. Not gonna have. Oh wait, I was gonna say I don't have enough energy to run those, but no, I have a ton of energy. So one of his temporary energy boosts still is with us. They last a while. Some of his resource effects can actually, even the temporary ones, they do last a while. Kids, please. What? These things? Wait, here's our storage unit. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, let's do it. Storage. Wait a minute. Actually, what am I doing? I have large storage already. Let's go straight up to large storage. Duh. All right, then let's get rid of. What else am I gonna get rid of? Well, I don't need to get rid of anything. Grab that. Grab that. Grab that. Okay, no more small storage here. The hunter legs? Oh yeah, I was gonna grab those too. Whoops, you're right, you're right. I was gonna grab those and I forgot all about them. Now we have more legs. Yes, I was gonna do the titanium legs. That's because was my first target, but you're right. Yeah, I forgot all about it because they were mixed in with all the junk here by the time I finished with that mess. Okay, so Zom is, you know, he's not entertained, which I don't blame him. I guess let's go south, now that I'm here. Kick these guys out of the way. Give you a little kick. No, I don't have enough to get him. Oh well, whatever. Heavy mace. Oh, I've got one of these improved EM shotguns on me. I guess it's okay. It's not gonna be okay if I shoot this guy though. Not up in my face. Ooh, prototype energy gun. What's this one? Heavy particle gun. Heavy particle gun and another one. Wow, there's just like prototypes all over the place. Oh, that sucks. But that wasn't entertaining, unfortunately. Zom does like it if you get beat up at least. So that's kind of an expected typical Cogmind thing. Not like, it's not incredibly amusing, but it's at least helpful. So kind of, I think someone was making a comment, I think I read it this morning, it was made like last night or whatever, about the fact that in some ways Zom can actually, you know, by becoming more entertained at your bad luck, he kind of can balance out the bad luck a little. I mean, obviously he's chaotic and messes with things as well, but it's kind of an interesting take on that. Oh, that's more guys. 78 heat. The only thing I'd be worried about is overheating if I keep firing this many weapons. I could stop with the particle gun at least then. Just don't want to fire too many of these guys. Now we're going to start killing everybody. Heat now is getting a little higher. So yeah, that was a good idea to turn that off. It'd be nice if I had a shield, I guess, huh? Oh, when something happened. Oh, tips the skill. Oh, shoot. Alright. So one of the other things he can do, he turned this into a guardian. This is now a mid-tier sentry. He just made him buffer, which, if happens at the wrong time, can actually be bad with, especially, I saw him turn somebody's heavy into a stronger heavy when they were near him. That was pretty funny. So this guy just got better. Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. 282 now. Shoot, I don't have any heat sink. There's a heat sink right there. Oh wait, I'm supposed to have armor on. Forgot to turn that, put that on. Whatever. It's okay. Zom will like it if we get annihilated, right? Ooh, armored treads on the ground. Wait, what? Why are there armored treads on the ground? Where'd that come from? Oh, he showed us where an exit is. No, it's not that close, but he can reveal exits, so it's one of the good effects he can give you. Is telling you where the exits are. There's another armor treads below me. Did I just accidentally kill a hauler? I think, yeah. I killed a hauler, and it dropped treads. That's actually kind of nice. Grab some of those, huh? Light treads. Those are light. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. Let's look at the wrong ones. Here we go. Let's go this way. Grab that. Oh, get upgrade, get free Gatlings, yes. Where did it even drop that? Faulty medium laser. Oh, whoops. Nope, no drop. I forget which, some of the things that Zom does, like upgrading. I think upgrading should probably still drop their stuff, maybe not. A lot of the bots that Zom can create in general, though, will not drop stuff. I forgot some of the cases where he does, though. Answer the silent call of Rift Zom. Oh, actually, yeah. So Rift Zom is actually quite powerful right now. It's probably a little too good, but it was slightly nerfed in yesterday's patch. Not significantly so, but basically took away some of its potential. Super amazing parts, and but it's still quite good, and I'm sure a lot of fun. I personally would love to play it, but I generally play a lot slower when I do Rift. So, although actually going into a garrison though is pretty good, huh? It's good for Zom's entertainment. I've heard. Maybe we could do that. Please tell me Proto 99 still exists. Proto 99 does not exist. I took it away. It's he only now will boost class specific couplers. You know, you say that, but then anti-dodge check. But literally today, what was it? Hermelin, I guess, is running Rift Zom, and he's got literally like so many 99 couplers attached of different types. So I don't think NC sucks that much. And NC personally, I mean, they're already the couplers with the highest value on them. You know, you literally saw Hermelin running around with 99 that he merged as well. And there's so many of them, and they're generally high value, so. Oh, of course. Well then, if you're Yamaka and you see that NC is the only valuable coupler, you know what? Before I made that, yeah, and Sentry is great, and you can totally get that one still. You know, all the regular ones, Sentries and Hunters and Grunts, you can get all those high. You know, it's still going to be quite good. In fact, it's quite powerful. I still have to think about it though. What I wanted to do about that in terms of the teleporting and the fact that you can have an army with you, and that you'd have to leave them behind. It might be better now, if only because Zom will not teleport you as much. Because before I patched last night, he teleported you more because I didn't do a build check. I forgot to do the build check on the safety teleport, so he was teleporting you out of a dangerous situation even if you were in a great shape. And so I changed it so you actually do have to not be in great shape for him to do that. So he'll teleport less on that trigger, but there is still the other, the negative teleport trigger where he tries to put you in a dangerous situation. That one is still there, but so I think on average we'll be seeing him teleporting people less overall than before. Still certainly plenty of teleporting if you're unlucky, or maybe lucky in the case of you wanted it, but not quite as much as before. Actually, I should say, I didn't get to the Rift thing until yesterday afternoon my time, and Dosh was already asleep by then. Otherwise, I wanted to ask Dosh what he thought about some Rift adjustments. Well, that was too bad. Most everybody was asleep. I could have brought up the topic, but everybody was asleep, so I went with a simpler approach to adjustments for now. I still want to do more probably with Rift and Zom, but that's going to take 7.1 because adding new acts, adding new sources of interest, and bigger adjustments require breaking saves. To make it easier anyway. I can do some of those things without breaking saves. I mean, I can do all of them technically. It depends on how much work I want to do to be able to, for example, upgrade saves from people who have runs in progress. You know, there's some simple things I can do. Like in my recent patches, I have actually technically broken saves, but it's updating them from an older version because it wasn't too hard to do that. But it can get kind of complex to do that if it's a bigger feature. So I normally avoid that and just keep a list of those things. And I have such a growing list now of Zom updates that I think need to happen. It's getting fairly big already. Again, this is because we didn't have a pre-release, so we're pretty much assured of getting a 7.17. How many years ago was that? We're pretty much assured of getting a 17.1 build. Yeah, that'll happen. I'm pretty sure because you're gonna stick some new stuff in there, break saves, a little bit of new content too. Yeah, so that will be next on my list after we get to do the other normal piece post-release things, including stats and things. So, curse living in the opposite time zone? Yes, I was thinking that same thing. Alright, so let's, we could go into a garrison then, yeah. I mean, my entertainment's only 5, and garrison down here. Hello, garrison. Wait a minute, what? Did I just completely miss that? No one was paying attention? Where did I come into this map? Where's my cursor? There it is. Boom. Oh wait, oh shoot, I was already there. I was gonna show. When we entered this floor, distant sounds of combat echo through the corridors. I didn't see that. Apparently, Terminus is still here. He's already gotten 4 kills. Man, Terminus, where you been, dude? I got like 15 kills on this map already. But this isn't Valguras, so we're not in competition. Anyway, the garrison is active over there, and Terminus is right next to it. That's funny. But anyway, I was going to dive into the garrison. Now Terminus is here. I probably should still just dive into the garrison, yeah? Although, there is an achievement that's tied to this guy. I should do that at some point. I've never actually gone with him, but you know, you can follow Terminus around. It's probably a bad idea with Zom specifically, because Zom can easily take you away from Terminus. He's not going to teleport Terminus with you. So yeah. He's great to kill. He's great to kill. I don't think about killing NPCs. I'm not that kind of person. Although, actually, he's probably good for. I know he's great loot. He's obviously he's gonna be great loot. He's a late game bot. In the early game, if you want to kill him, it is true. And it would. I don't know if actually that does make Zom happy if you try and kill Terminus. Late game bot with only short range weapons. Well, yeah, obviously that doesn't matter in our case here, but I can see what you mean by that, yeah. Anyway, so there's Terminus, and he's over here like, you know, I almost blasted you there, so he's, if you want, you can hang out with Terminus. High-powered shotgun. I was thinking of diving into the garrison here, though. What does everyone think about that? What should we do here? Makes some sense, because it's apparently a good, decent place to get entertainment. We could go Riff, and not play it full Riff, though, maybe. Just use it as an option, which might be pretty helpful. Also, actually, garrisons are probably pretty... Garrisons can be kind of dangerous with Zomba, because he can put you in the middle of the garrison, technically. ECA... yeah, that's a possibility, too. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Whatever anyone thinks, I was thinking about doing that probably. Terminus, I don't think that's going to matter here. Oh, he keeps restoring your core for loops. That's a nice idea, actually. Although looping doesn't matter so much. I mean, you can already loop almost to your limit with the normal core you have. We'll have to see how common it is. All right, let's go do that then. I mean, assuming I can. Actually, I didn't put up any Trojans, but... Well, I almost sealed that on reflex. Alright, here's a garrison. It's gonna go inside. We're inside a garrison. Terminus is like, wait, dude, where'd you go? And Terminus is thinking right now, that guy's cooler than me. Look at all these guys. They're like, oh, shoot. Okay, they're going with my engine, which had a lot of energy. But that's okay. I got energy without an engine. Turbine happens when we less than exit reveals in Zom Vision, for example. Oh. Amicus is looking through activity tracker, seeing some of the effects seem rarer than the others. Like I said, there is no weighting whatsoever. Like you say, you know, Zom Vision and Terrabomb, they will be equal chances. The only thing that might make some effects more frequent than others is if they have other requirements for happening. I mean, you could say Terror Bomb, like it's not allowed in the subcave, so that's one less place it can appear. But I know Zombie Vision can appear anywhere. What else is there? Oh, that's right, I've still got a heatsink on. But there's no weighting at all, so it's completely random. The other thing, I guess, Terror Bomb is considered a bad effect, and so the other thing you can compare, for example, oh wait, you're saying Terror Bomb has less than Exit Reveals and Zombie, like Terror Bomb, and if you're trying to compare Terror Bomb versus Exit Reveals and Zombie Vision, you're comparing a bad effect versus two good effects. And good effects in general are probably going to be a little more common than bad effects, purely because you get the entertainment boost to Zom's effect. So I think that makes perfect sense, right? People are trying to keep their entertainment high, and you're more likely to have that. So that's one thing. But there's no waiting, like I said. But yeah, I don't know what other requirements are. There are. All effects have, almost all effects have requirements of some sort. There's a lot of them. Like, it's unique to each effect, though. Like, for example, hey, we still haven't gotten other core effects. For example, like the permanent effects, they're not going to give that to you if your core is too low. Because if your core is low, there's not enough to take away, and it would kill you. And so I'm not going to let Tom just outright kill you to give you an effect like that. So that postpones the effect. So it depends a lot on your player states and stuff like that. There's a lot of things like that. So it's really hard to directly compare, which is another reason that weighting is not super meaningful, I think. Meaning in terms of implementing it. There's just not a lot of a reason to do that. Alright, so here we are exploring Garrison. I guess technically I should find a way to find the Riff installer. I'm going to do Riff here. Heavy Assault Rifle plus. Wait a minute, I think I want that instead of this Assault Rifle. Because I got a plus. Okay, I got a bot walking around over here. Who's that guy? Good versus bad explains it? Yeah, probably. Mutated slots, though, is is that considered a bad effect? Some of them are hard to determine. It's most likely bad, yeah. Also, there's combat versus non-combat effects. So that's a whole nother, if you look at the Patreon post I put up, anyone with Patreon access, there's some graphs and other things that explain stuff like that. There's there's bad versus good, and there's also combat versus non-combat effects. So there's 4 different categories, basically. 4 different major categories of effects. So if you're not in combat a lot, you're going to get a lot of non-combat effects, naturally. Now, part of that might be Zom puts you in combat, but there's, separately, there's effects that are going to be in combat only. So yeah, that also affects what kinds of things are happening. Anyone? Nobody? Nobody. It's empty. Oh, reactive plating and particle charger, and I alerted a little friendo here. Oh, he's frozen. Now that we can see that. All right. I don't have a big enough storage, huh? If I'm gonna grab couplers, I don't really care as much about it, I guess. I do have an awful lot of prop in my inventory, though. Anyway, don't need anything just yet. Unfinished room. I didn't bring a data jack in here, which is normally something I would do. Get rid of heatsink. I don't know if that's a good idea, actually, but they're often on the ground, so I won't worry about it. I'm gonna drop this wheel too. I'm gonna drop some stuff here. I'm gonna get rid of this advanced beam rifle. That's a decent start. I need legs to replace my current ones. So what is that? 3? Yeah, that's enough. Look at that. I got a behemoth coupler too. Don't know if I need that one, but keep it around. Zom can actually make 99 behemoth couplers still, which is obviously good, right? What's going on back here? Oh, wait, what? Oh, lost my weapon slots. There they go. Tossed aside. Oh, whoops. Oh, whoa. Now we've got both energy and matter. It causes your matter storage to temporarily balloon in size, plus 600 to matter capacity. So we now have a bunch of extra matter storage for a while. Again, not permanent. We still haven't gotten other permanent effects. Alright. Okay, good old investigation squad knowledge. Entertainment is now at 5 still. Sticking with the tracker. Ah, we got some item locations. We now know there is an auth chip stash over there. Also, oh, wait. You know there's an exit over there? A little opening grenade, followed by a little bit of destruction. Alright, I guess Zom would like it if I took this out, which is probably a good idea. Well, it's a bad idea for alert purposes, but it's a good idea for finding a riff installer, right? Just outside the range. Zom is highly amused. Phase generator explodes. So as you can see there, yeah, that's one thing you can do intentionally to get a lot of entertainment value. He's up to 35 now. We're at 5. So that is one thing you can do, because it also gives you a whole lot of alert, and it opens up all the phase doors, which is actually oftentimes it's a net negative. There's a number of net negative things associated with phase generators worthy of that. There's not a lot. Again, there's not a lot of things you can do intentionally. It's mainly bigger, impactful stuff. But maybe later in the run, I think we'll probably get to talk about and see some of the other things that you can do as well. Oh, look at that. There's something back here too. There's something behind the phase generator, which didn't get blown up. Patrol nav. It's okay. Didn't need the patrol nav. I mean, it's nice though. It's cool because it puts lines on the screen. I love lines on the screen. Hey guys. Oh, whoops. I didn't do that. That wasn't me. But also it was me. Good old nuke. Who did that? Zom, as Magi says, Zom-like explosions, right? So as you can see up there, Zom explosive smite attack. So that was actually different from the one that shoots out. It actually just drops an explosion on something. So that was a beneficial effect. We haven't been messed with too badly so far. Just, oh, getting lucky like that. Surely Zom won't destroy the riff installer, right? Because it's right here. Okay. Alright, so there we go. We are currently a beloved toy of Zom, so we're even more likely to get good effects. We have 35 entertainment, so Zom is happy. That's nice. Good mood. So this is one of the much higher, we're very high on the Zom mood chain here. Alright, that's good. Not having a data jack kind of sucks, I guess, because I can't use any coupler power. But we did get the main riff installer. Might be another one. Heavy ARC. Have anything inside? Should probably finally use this. There went my power source. Fortunately, I don't actually have a strong need for it. Advanced heatsink. My aim was bad, so I decided to come down here first. Much better aim. I'm gonna wait down here. Alright, anybody got a power source? Nobody? Nobody got a power source. Advanced heatsink. Zom can really heat you up, so I kind of like the idea of an advanced heatsink. I'm gonna drop one of these legs and switch to another leg. and grab a heatsink. One of the cool things about these guys is I like to harvest them for wheels, but I'm gonna try and avoid using wheels. Oh, another empty way. Oh, nothing bad there. Empty area. Oh, whoops. Collapses. Ha! Alright, what have we got in my inventory here? Yeah. Ooh, sentry coupler. Yeah. Okay. Energy. Yeah, okay. I really need a power source right about now. Wait, these things have power sources left on them? Improved ion engine. You should probably take these out, huh? I probably should not... Sorry, entertainment's now at 34. Probably should not... do the EM power maul on this guy. Shoot. Normally I would have had the... I would have taken the katana to take him apart, but I don't have that option. I think neither of these actually is going to affect salvage anyway, at least. Plus core integrity. Oh, nice core integrity restore, right? Not easy to take this guy out. Plus 4 sight range. Oh, unfortunately we lost our good status. Man, these guys are rugged! Plus 4 system corruption. Ooh, okay, that's not good. Uh-oh, okay, fused light armor. Oh, that's kind of a crappy fuse. And no power. Alright, need to find a power source. Oh, I lost my energy boost. Alright, now we're in trouble. Alright. I'm not running anything that takes power, but I can't move anymore. Alright, is there any power sources out here? Anywhere. There's a corrupted nuclear core way over there. That's not going to be easy to get to. Especially now under stasis. Oh, there we go. Anything in here? No, just those. Oh, shoot. No? Oh, no! God damn it. Here I am, running around without any energy. Because I lost my Zom energy and my power source. And, that happened at a very not good time. That was literally just the system corruption, but he gave me the corruption. He's amused at least. If you notice, we just got a bunch more amusement from that too. So on that note, I will say the entertainment values, they're also in some cases dynamic. Like most of them are, there's a static base for them. You know, they all fall within a certain range, but some of them actually get modified depending on the situation. Like if how extreme, I can't think of any examples off the top of my head because it's been too long since I looked at that, but certain things like if he was going to be entertained by a certain event happening, if there's something else that could exacerbate that event, then he would be even more entertained by it. So you can get like double and triple the normal value of certain entertainment sources if you meet the other requirements. So there's some variability there as well. It's pretty dynamic. Now I have to fight stuff without any power. So I'm gonna have to, and there's literally an ARC coming as well. And there it is. Okay, hey ARC. Okay, Amok says the wiki page will never be fully accurate. All I have to say to that is, good. Just kidding, it's hard to do. It's very understandable. There we go. Alright, so what I needed to do was draw as many guys as close as possible, as quickly as possible, because I need to steal someone's power source so that I can do anything. Oh wait, what am I gonna do? Oh yeah, it's cave in. What do I actually want to do? Alright, so what is my actual cost? The energy cost of firing here is actually super low. I could switch back. I can't. I don't have enough energy to swap though, so I'm just gonna fire and leave my maul on. I'm gonna fire from this position. Removed kill holding. Oh yeah, I didn't mean. Yeah, I wasn't surprised by that. I was curious why. I just didn't pay attention to what the announcement was or what the warning was. All right, I'm looking for this. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Nice. Okay. Okay, and now that we have everyone gathered around, shoot, I still don't have enough energy, but all right, we will wait one turn. There we go. Man, it would be cool if I had a data jack, huh? I didn't really think about that before coming in, though. Normally, if I was doing a real riff run, this is not a real riff run. This is a SOM riff run, so I don't know exactly how much riffing I'll be doing, but I would like to see some of them 99 couplers, yeah? All right, what is this going to take to fire? It's got, this is 0 energy. That's good, so I can swap and fire immediately then. Good. All right, let's swap. Oh, he gave me plus 100 energy. So nice, Tom. One of the smaller effects, but obviously quite nice in this situation. I have grenades. What do you guys have? Parts for me. Well, not going to be much left after this, but another engine over here. Alright. How are these guys doing? Grunt 17. Alright, well I do have a power source, so... Ooh, I don't have another kinetic weapon, though. I can't use 2 kinetic weapons. I kind of don't want to do this, but I'm going to do this anyway. Shoot, that didn't actually work out in my favor. I'm not sure I can actually maintain this. It works out okay. Zom is mildly amused by the loss of the piety tracker. So there you go. I did lose the piety tracker. Can see that in action. He is amused by that. You can't keep doing it, but he's amused by it at least once for a little while. Okay, so we can grab some of these legs which are not corrupted. Well, one of them anyway. Yeah. What else have I got going here? Okay, we'll do this. This is amusing. I'm amused by it anyway. Now Zom won't be as particularly amused, but it'll be effective. All right. So yeah, that was a dangerous teleport, but as you can see, not too bad for dealing with that. And here's our replacement. As I was mentioning earlier, he does give you replacements for the tracker. So there we go. We can now see he has entertainment at 65. So that's decent. Certainly not bad at all. That means we have a higher chance of having good effects there. So it all started with that phase gen, which gave us a nice 30 boost. Otherwise, it would be on the lower side, but pretty good there. Okay. Whoa. Actually, in case you didn't know this. Okay. Whoa. All right. Perma effect. There we go. We just lost 100 core integrity. We're now at 293, but he gave us +1 inventory capacity. So we now have a free inventory slot. I believe it's you can get more than one even. I don't remember the range on that. I think it was 1 or 2 inventory slots. But we weren't lucky enough to get a higher value. So we have 1. But hey, I'll take 1. It's free. Also, in case you didn't notice, our sight range is quite long. So that is another thing worth bringing up here. Sorry. Scanning visual here, you see 20. So we did get a bonus on our base range, and technically that means if you boost your range with another utility on top of that, you can get even further. This is temporary though. We've had it for a little while now, but it's one of those temporary effects. It's not a permanent It is not a permanent change, but that does mean you can go beyond the normal designed limit of 26, I think it is, or 24, whatever. So you can actually see things that go beyond the edge of the normal view area, which is kind of funny. You know, I avoided doing that by design. Now with ZOM you can extend beyond it, but fortunately, because I redid the whole zooming feature, you know, you can zoom in Cogmind now, and the different window sizes here, especially when you're playing semi-modal. Right now I'm playing fully modal, but the semi-modal version, you have a smaller view area, which means if you do have any kind of, even without vision extension, you can see beyond the edges of the screen, but it'll at least give you labels for stuff that's out there, so you know it's there. You know, I built all those features in, so that's great that we've had that now, and we don't have to worry about always having to zoom out to see stuff, including when you get like some extra ZOM vision, which allows you to get really long vision. So, Riff Installer. Alright, he made us kind of a fake misfire there. What is this big room? Hello, big room. Also, hello, pests. Also, hello, guys. Couplers and sentries and specialists. And not a ton of inventory space. We haven't gotten any modifiers for those yet. Oh, shoot, look at that. Come on, do something. Yes, he's like, he's trying to poke us here. He's dropped in some pests. So one of the things I think when playing with ZOM is, it's really nice to have, oh shoot, dude. You're running away. It's nice to have certain tools for dealing with unexpected situations, right? So it's pretty close to the normal tools you want to have in the end, like a launcher for dealing with groups, also heat sinks, or some kind of or cooling system that you can swap in, or you know, even an injector, because ZOM can, you know, maybe you're getting hot already from battle, and then ZOM pumps up your heat to crazier levels, kind of like corruption effects and other stuff like that. It's with heat spikes, and that can really mess you up indirectly, right? So it helps to have some kind of quicker cooling solution. And another thing, which is new, those are all original things that you might want to do strategically. I think one of the newer things with ZOM is it could be you're teleporting. If you have any means to teleport or similar kinds of movement, those become more valuable with ZOM. They were already pretty valuable for dealing with tough situations, but ZOM can literally put you in those situations suddenly. And so having a way out of that is, I think, pretty beneficial strategically. You might, if you have the option, want to carry more of those, especially in the late game. You know, in the early game, it's a little easier to weasel your way out of almost anything. In the late game, it gets a lot iffier with really strong bots thrown into the mix, right? Oh, we just got thermal resistance, so that's our third. We're now down to 286 core. Our max score is 300 in a -8 garrison. So we're not getting extra core, apparently, as one of ours. But if you look here, there's we now have a 10% innate thermal resistance. That's the lowest. We've low rolled on everything. It's okay. It's an okay resist. It's a good resist. The thing is, we really low rolled on that. That's the lowest possible roll, I think. We got the low roll on the resistance. We got a low roll on the accuracy, and we got the low roll on the inventory. So I'm dealing with low rolls. And we, of course, still got a bunch of core taken. That said, the actual core deduction is directly tied to the level of the mods as well. But yeah, thermal is a good, it's a good nice resist for sure. It's one of the main ones. You'd want thermal and kinetic. Well, thermal, kinetic, and EM. EM's good as well. They're all good. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you'd be happy with any of them, but it is a low roll. Oh, so the other thing I was going to bring up, which I know will come up certainly again, it's often come up before, but with ZOM it's going to be even more prevalent. We are going to eventually get more QOL in the form of a new interface. So right now, you know, we can see our resistances That's normal, and that's always been there, and we've had that. That's good because, you can always have been able to attach parts that affect that and whatnot. And even though you can see it there, it's nice to see it tallied here. There's only so much room for tallies on this particular status screen, though. So there are certain, like we can also see our visual, which has already dropped back down again. We can see our visual range here for our sensors, but what we don't have is, for example, an accuracy boost. We can't see right now that Zom has given us a permanent boost to our melee accuracy. Just gotta kind of remember that. Among the other similar things that Cogmind has had at least a growing number of, we didn't have that originally, which is why it wasn't designed into the original interface. But Cogmind can now have a number of either temporary or even permanent effects that don't appear on this list. You have to remember them. Which obviously is not ideal. It was never intended to be that way, and it's always been planned to not be that way in the end. But I've been intentionally waiting. We're going to get a new interface which shows you temporary and permanent effects. And not only that, but also other things. The other things, for example, the things that you've learned across the run, like intel that you haven't used yet, stuff like that. That's all been. There's a growing list of stuff that we need a whole new interface for to give you that info. So I haven't designed it yet because I want, as usual, I want the design to be able to incorporate in the best way possible all the elements of this information we need. And I can't do that until I actually know what they are. And it's always been growing. For example, I didn't know exactly how Zom was going to work, or that he would be giving stuff like this, back when I first thought of, we're going to need this UI. And so I've had that, on the back burner for literal years now, as the list grows. We're getting closer to the point where there's enough variety that I can probably come up with a design that will, be expandable and or incorporate all the possibilities, not only past and present, but also future. So that could start, we're getting really close to adding that, I think. So yeah, we'll be seeing that. Plexion says I'm going to be so stressed out whenever my mood is neutral and I haven't gotten my permanent buffs yet. Yeah, you don't normally want to be neutral, it's true. Like I'm neutral right now and there's not much going on, so the total effects are going to be muted. If we were in doing crazy stuff, or Zom was in a more extreme mood, then we would actually have gotten better perm buffs, and then it permanently affects the run. So if in the beginning of the run you're going fast, you're going hard, you're getting into a lot of messes, you're more likely to get some benefit out of that, a long-term benefit. So another case for not necessarily fooling around and goofing off and taking the early game slow. I'm not especially I'm getting into a fair bit of trouble, but I've been dealing with it quickly anyway, so haven't really been in too many problems. But our entertainment is at least high. But it's true, it's hard to control. You can sort of control it. I mean, sorta. If you're putting yourself constantly in tough situations, it's not super easy to do that in the early game, though, because then you either get picked apart if you don't deal with the enemy quickly, or you deal with the enemy quickly and you're already out of that situation. So yeah, it's pretty tough to do, I think. Okay, so I've covered that. Now I wanted to cover that UI thing again. I brought it up many times on Discord before, and I'm sure on stream at one point before, but it's relevant here to the Zom thing, though. Magnitude is entirely from the mood, which is random. No, it's not. If you check out, you can go look at the dungeon crawl source code, or the Cogmind source code. But the dungeon crawl source code already has it there in the open. It's on GitHub. Because, yes, I definitely did for this. Oh, there's another terminal. Look at that. What's this one have on it? Oh, okay, well, that's something, I guess. Found some hidden doors. Only a few. Enjoy your Zom vision! Alright, so we got one of the new effects. This one happens fairly frequently enough. I mean, because it's easy, it doesn't have any restrictions on it at all. We get Zom vision, which is basically... perfect real-time enemy vision. It's kind of like Farcom, basically. It's kind of like Zom Farcom, but it also gives you non-combat bots, and it works in outside outside of the complex. It's basically like better Farcom. It's kind of like the other two that do this similarly. It's not as good. It's got bigger range, but it's not quite as comprehensive as the exoskeleton sensor. It's kind of the closest analogy would be, I guess, the companion sword, upgraded companion sword. Zomcom. There you go. The real XCOM. There you go. Yes. XCOM. Alright. Oh. 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 Uh-oh. I don't know if this is gonna work. But I might be able to get this guy so fast they can actually get rid of the corruption. That's right. I'm thinking this is an armor plating that I can put over my seismic here. Then I can shoot him out of energy again. Right. Oh, it's okay. Here we go. Here we go. My other Zom solution. Oh, you know what I should also do before I kill myself? Wait a minute, what? Oh, whoops. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. I pressed the wrong button here. Okay. Hey guys. Prepare to die. Man, I need more launchers. Grenade launcher's doing good. Glad it's not fused. Take that off real quick. Zom loves the fused stuff. And yeah. Alright. I was gonna give some more information there, but I think I'll keep that information to myself. Oh, a remote data jack. Right! Data jack! Yes. That's awesome. Alright, I like it. Another remote data jack too. Yeah, so running out of power has not been good. Should awaken it. That one's more damaged. Alright, improved heatsink. Alright. Alright, so this is a nice detour, right. Also bigger couplers. Big couplers. Oh, not in the right spot yet. There we go. Sweet. I got this too. Grab that. Alright. Garrison interior compromised. I am well aware, being the compromiser. Oh my. Alright, so let's do, let's see. Actually, I have a different idea for this guy. Here we go. Oh wait, that's not the right key. Shoot. I'm an idiot. Whatever, it's fine. I don't really care, because I'm going to be, like, wasting these things. I meant to shut him down, not go dormant. There. Happy, guys? You're on my team now. The winning team. Oh yeah, I'm overweight now too. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to switch that up here. Not overweight now. 170. Alright guys, I think we're about done here, but first... yeah, this got stuck on me. Great. Alright, you guys enjoy that. Let's see what I can grab out here. NC. I don't even have an NC yet. 17. NC. Alright, what have I got to attach here? Grunt coupler, let's get rid of that. Grunt coupler, goodbye. Seismic detector, yes. You know, actually I don't probably need a seismic detector, but it'll help with machines later. Alright, let's get out of here. We are done. Oh, this guy's just sitting down there. Time to go make some friends. Alright, so our entertainment is now 59, so it's been slowly dropping, but the Garrison Detour did give us an edge, and now we're back at -8 materials again. with our not especially high core, but it's not low either. Did fairly well in that map. I'm gonna try to not go too heavy on the riff. I actually would probably also want to use melee. Because we got a little bonus to it, but also because hopefully Zom eventually gives us some Zom specific stuff. There is Zom specific stuff. Drop that. Don't need that anymore. Put on the other one and then grab this axe so that I have a different solution there. Oh, wait a minute here. Guys, hang out in here for just a second. Hey guys, yeah, kill him. Do that. Or not. What is out in the hallway? Hey, sentry. Should probably get another data jack, but I need better storage first. I love doing that. Okay. Alright, so we can see our current influence is 2S, so on the high side. Oh, there's still another one over there. You guys keep working, I'm going to step out of your way. Yep, he's dead. Alright, 2X now. Definitely going to go up. Oh, getting attacked from behind. Go guys, do it. Kill them. Or die. Either way, I'm okay with that. Yes, our alert level is going down. Yeah, I'll just like leave them to their devices. There we go. Alert level is going up. It's going down. It's going up. It's going all over the place. Now there's a bunch of armored huge wheels on the floor. Why do they do this to me? I only have 3 utility slots. I can't use this sentry coupler to take this guy over. Oh, we won. Alright. Dope. Prototype ballistic guns? Ooh. Also some treads which are corrupted, but we knew that. Whoa, what? Okay, that was my corruption acting up. That was all that was. Yeah, gotta love corruption when you got one of these guys. It's okay, I'm gonna take that off now. We're gonna get a bunch of improved assault rifles. Well, I don't know about a bunch, but replace the shotgun. And surely our grunt can take that guy. He was already, like, mega hurt, right? So anyway, armored huge wheels. Yeah, very, very tempting. I think I'm gonna stick my treads to my treads for now, though. Even though normally, in a normal run, I would take those. For sure. Oh wait, this guy's still alive. Funny. I thought you were dead. Alright, I'll just do that again. Then I'll shoot you, this time to death. Surely. Surely you'll die. Oh, see, there we go. He still didn't die. Having one weapon sucks! Or using one weapon. I'm gonna have more choices. So he just revealed a factory exit. I mean, like, those are easy to find, though. The big thing comes when he reveals exits in the late game, where those maps are big and harder to get around. So, as you can see here, he tags items too! So he gave us a 99 grunt coupler. This is something, so this is one of the main reasons that Riff is quite good with Zom now. Is he can up your couplers to 99 max. And it's not really a max value. Technically couplers can go over 99. That just is kind of a typical high-end max-ish value. It's only a cap if you're trying to code merge. Other than that, though, technically it's possible to get couplers above 99. It's not an actual hard limit. But anyway, so yeah, he tags items, as you can see here too. He can give you items outright. He can, and there's a number of different ways that he can give you items. And in some cases, he likes to tag them with comments. Again, that also happens in Dungeon Crawl. You can get tags, although I'm not sure how much variety there is in the tags. Or I know they can be tagged. I don't really remember, actually. To be honest, I never, despite being loving the concept of Zom and think it's worked and consider it having worked out really well in Cogmind, I actually never worshipped Zom in Stone Soup. When I was playing Dungeon Crawl for a long time, I never actually worshipped Zom. I mean, it's more of an advanced. It's first of all, it's certainly harder. It's more of an advanced player thing, especially in Dungeon Crawl, because it's not quite as, like I said, leaning towards being beneficial somewhat in Cogmind, as long as you can deal with the mess. Oh, I just lost a slot. Damn it. All right, well, there goes the assault rifle I had on. So yeah, he just took away one of our weapon slots. Boom. Evolution hits right when you least expect it. One of our weapon slots was mutated into a power slot, you can see here. So we lost our third weapon slot. This is one reason I think personally that you don't really Zom can make it very hard. Oh shoot, we're a very special plaything. That's the absolute lowest. Okay, bad things might be more likely to happen now than usual anyway. So yeah, this is bad state. Anyway, we still get a little bit of bonus from our decent entertainment though. Anyway, so what I was going to mention is, build-wise, you don't really want to run builds right on the edge with Zom. Sometimes people come up with, especially the lighter builds, certain flight and hover builds. You see a lot of builds where people have done really well managing their slot distribution and item types so that they come out with like perfect support and support for mass, 1-to-1 ratio, and they're really nice. But the thing is, Zom can really mess that up, and if he does that, even if he does it at a good time, but imagine if he also does it at a bad time, and you've suddenly, your whole build is out of whack, it's pretty dangerous, as you can imagine. It's really risky. So that's why, for example, in my case, normally I like to run 4 weapon slots right away. But I didn't want to do it this time because I didn't want him to drop my prop too low. If you start with 4 weapons, he can drop your prop to 1 slot. And that's kind of bad. You pretty much almost have to be on a wheel there, or rolling around. It's tough otherwise. Same thing with weapons. If you stick with 2, and he can take you down to 1 weapon slot. So in the early game, it's especially in the early game, but even later on, you got to be careful about running builds on the edge with Zom. Same thing with power. If you're running like a high power demanding build and you only got like 3 power slots, he can drop you to 2. That can be a pretty big difference for a build that's running like energy weapons and force fields. 3 power sources could be decent enough for that. 2, you might start running out of power, but you might not worry about it too much if, for example, you have permanent energy bonus or something like that. If you notice here, our energy and matter bonuses are still here. Those last for quite a while. They're temporary, but they last a while, so you can actually play with them. I didn't want to make it too short duration, because then you couldn't really do much with them. It would be kind of meaningless, in other words. So they are temporary, but they last a while. They're pretty good. But that also means they're out of the pool now. Effect-wise, that would be another thing, Almaka, if you're listening or if you catch this later, is that some of the effects, any effect that lasts longer and is a duration effect, you can't get the effect while it's already in effect. So that immediately lowers the chance that you're going to be seeing it across a run, depending on how long the run lasts. If you have an effect that's lasting multiple floors, you can't double up on that effect. So like I can't get another energy or matter bonus because we've got them both. So we won't be seeing that. And so it's naturally going to happen less. So that's an example of just one other requirement that you can have for certain things. Like the weapon slot effect that I got earlier is the same thing. He's not going to keep giving you weapon slots. When we got several extra weapon slots, he can give you a bunch of extra slots. You can't keep getting a bunch of them. Yeah, because I did know this from experience. Yeah, you can pretty much tell. You'd see it. It's not going to happen. You would assume that's the case, but just in case. Does the exclamation make the part require confirmation now? Are you referring to tags? Was that a question earlier about the tagging? Because like, it's the same thing as before. Exclamation is confirmation. But Zom doesn't put exclamations in his tags, and he won't change your tags. So if you have a tagged item, he won't override that, specifically because we don't want to be overriding people's tags. That was a suggestion earlier on. I did definitely immediately did that on your coupler. Oh, is there one on my coupler too? Oh, there is one. Oh, dang. Oh, yeah, that would happen then. Shoot, I thought he didn't put that in there. That's okay, it's fine. He can leave it there. I guess. I had forgotten there's one with an exclamation mark in it. That's funny. Let's see. I would imagine so. Yeah, see? It'll attach an exclamation tagged part. That's okay, it's just funny. And plus, it'll also teach people, right? I mean, anyone who's getting Zom probably already knows that, but maybe not. I don't know. It's not a very good teacher, technically. They'll be like, what's that mean? But it's true. It does. This is actually does require confirmation, because it doesn't know the difference between that. It's just going to check for an exclamation mark somewhere in the tag. I mean, I could have it do that, but it's not worth it. And obviously, I could also remove it, but I wouldn't want to remove that option from Zom, really. I just didn't think at the moment that there was anything with an exclamation mark. That might be the only one. Of course, I forgot that one. So maybe I forgot others. So anyway, half our inventory now is couplers. Not surprising. Put on another micronuclear core. And then, so yeah. Oh, so about the slot. So he turned one of our weapon slots into a prop slot. So you might be worried, can he just rearrange your entire build? And the answer is no. It is controlled. That is, in places where it would completely ruin all balance or possibility of builds, I did tone down effects or put controls on them. He will never adjust your slots greater than -1 or +1 from your base configuration. So like, he can't take another weapon slot away from us. And he can't give us another power source. That's now removed from his pool of possibilities. He could, however, for example, take away a utility slot or a propulsion slot or a power slot and give us a weapon slot, or one of these others. He can. So anyway, it's a minus +1 basically. Difference from your base configuration. So he can mess you up, but only if you're playing on the edge. That can mess you up in other ways, though, if you're like got your slots full and stuff, because he does just, if he removes one of your slots and you don't have space in your inventory too, he's going to just throw stuff on the ground. Or he might throw it on the ground anyway for that effect in particular, which can be a problem if you're surrounded with junk. It just rolls away off into some other nearby space. Or it even gets destroyed if you're completely surrounded by junk. That's theoretically possible. It's not super common, but could happen. Heavy ion engine. Medium storage. Alright, so yeah, our entertainment is doing just fine. We're actually doing okay. Could go this way. There's probably a room over here. Improved treads. Alright, we'll take that. It's just to have a full, also armored treads. Oh, okay, we should take that too. Wait, oh wait, that's right. I keep forgetting I don't have my slots. I lost the slots. I keep trying to press I to get my inventory, but I forgot. I lost the extra slots that were forcing that, so I don't need that anymore. Not for now. High capacity matter pod. We don't need that for now. I don't really like to carry around spare matter, because Zom can also take away your matter supply and your energy. He can, but he won't do that while you have the bonus. So right now we've got a bonus energy and bonus matter, which means he won't give us negatives to those either. But those are also possibilities, which could be dangerous if you have an average amount of matter, like he hasn't upped your max permanently, and he docks you. Then you might really wish you had matter storage in your inventory. It's another example of the kind of the flexibility-oriented decisions you might make. You might want to carry one of those around. I'm carrying around a behemoth couple, I guess, purely because I hope he makes it 99, because otherwise I would not carry that around this early in the game. That's not really something you need. I probably need a high capacity storage unit. Although, what's going to be the weight on that? What's that? 20 more. That is decent. As long as I get some okay treads. The best riff is 0 couplers in inventory. Yeah. I actually checked out your run, your riff run, your riff Zom run. Part of that. I was looking through that a little bit yesterday, I think it was, before I went ahead and made my riff changes. And I saw Yamaka walking around for a very long time with just his NC coupler. Alright, what was I gonna do here? Oh, the Panther Pod. I was thinking about it. I want to pick that up probably, or try to. Man, my weapon slots are getting pretty low. I'm gonna go with all melee soon. So I'll pick that up just to try and fill it. I've done enough robot hacking, but I'm here to kill now? Yeah. Alright, so we're currently a very special plaything. Need to be careful. NC coupler comes on, maybe. Alright, wait, where's showed over there. Alright, that exists to the south. Hey there. Missed. Shoot. Ouch. Gotcha. And he dropped a bunch of enhanced autoguns. See, this is where I can't stack anything right now, damn it. Shoot. This is where we drop all the couplers. I can't stack anything though. It's kind of sad. Engaging LAN party protocols. Uh-oh. Also just a box. Oh, shoot. Okay. A lot of people have questioned that before. I think a lot of people don't notice it. For sure, people don't notice it because it doesn't get extra animation or anything. But he says a box just for you. If you look around the screen now, boom, 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 boom. He just surrounded us with sentries. But he gives you intel for where they're located. I mean, because otherwise you would also have no idea what that means. But at least there's a way to see it and know about it. But if you look around, we've got a lot of security intel identified around us, and sentries and extra spots. Whoops. Shoot. Yeah, drop the couplers. Normally, that's true. Yes. This isn't exactly the best weapon for killing this guy. It's a very bad weapon for killing this guy. But he died, nonetheless. So did his friend. Light armor plating. I can technically swap the detector for that. But it's true I have too many couplers now, I guess. Swarmer. Oh, I don't need swarmer couplers. I don't care about swarmer couplers. I was just picking up extra couplers. 100 couplers actually are a little more valuable later than now. I can only pick up 2 of these unless I drop my axe, then I pick up 3 of these. I need my weapon slots back. I need more weapon slots. That makes Zom happy, actually. Getting weapon slots makes Zom happy. Plexus has gotta go have fun. Speaking to Zom. Yes. Speaking to Zom, not me. Have fun, Zom. Later, Plexion. Thanks for showing up. Hopefully that was elucidating. Or wait, illuminating. I was elucidating. Yes, I think this has been probably for anyone who is not familiar with the inner workings of Zom in general, or even just wanted some extra tidbits, given a decent enough background that's mostly covered stuff. The rest is going to be all details when we start seeing anything else specific that Zom does. We'll have to see. So there's that sentry. This one is already gone. We killed this guy. He came up when the other one warned him or something. I think that was close enough, so that's going to disappear now. Hacking suite. I love hacking suites. This factory exit. We can also go back into the garrison. You're in my way. What about you? I'm going to miss you again because I'm good at missing. Improved light armor. Oh, alright, so we did lose the matter capacity there. You can see we're back down to 300 now. And Zom can now technically drop it again. Oh, okay, I've got a new utility slot, but I lost a prop slot. This guy just took my stuff. Alright, so I had to drop that prop, but I can now slot in armor and then just pick up my prop from the ground, and we're not overweight, so it's not too bad. We are still a very special thing, though, which means, yeah, that's part of why we're... Oh, shoot, here comes a rogue. Damn. What else would I put in here? I didn't have any specialists, so yeah, alright, we'll just have to do this a good old-fashioned hammer way. Wait a minute, why am I using a heavy hammer? I have a power maul. I've been using the wrong thing. Oh, there goes my tracker. Alright, so he got amused again. So that gives you a little boost, which honestly is enough to last you easily until he gives you another tracker. He doesn't do that for another, I don't know, it's like 50 turns at least. That and also, and or if you get, and you have to get further away. I think it's, or if you get too far away from an earlier tracker. He'll drop a tracker, and if you don't have to take it, you can leave it there. But eventually, if you get far away from the other one, he'll move it over next to you. It will follow you around. Alright, this is what I was supposed to be using this whole time. I completely forgot. I wasn't paying attention. I had this in my inventory. Drunk sailor. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot, also I destroyed the door. That was a mistake. That was entirely because I wasn't paying attention. Wait, what did I destroy his... I destroyed his core shielding. Oh. Corrupted. Oh, he got corrupted and knocked back, so he was outside the door then. No wonder. Alright. Wait a minute. Oh, there's a tracker, right? So we need a new tracker. Oh, speaking of new tracker. 69. Grunt in the hallway. Didn't see me, though. I want him to see me. Oh, he definitely saw me. Nice! So, oh, okay, well, all I have is, oh, right, okay, that's actually kind of annoying, not that it's really going to matter, but, oh wait, what was I doing then? I didn't expect that, so I got to remember now. There we go. And then we go over here, and we do a remote data jack, and we do that, and I am going to do that. Oh my god, you kidding me? I don't have that achievement? Oh, that's right, it's new. Satisfying. That was very satisfying. Very satisfying. I got a new achievement. I haven't done a riff run since these new achievements were added, so that was one of the riff achievements. Destroyed 3 grunts with 1 hack. Now that was specifically though because I actually, what is the requirement on that achievement? Satisfying. Yeah, okay. Destroy 3 bots at once. So you do have to kill 3 bots. I have it here as in the icon uses the swarmers because that's one of the bigger targets for it. Because as when they group together, they're almost certainly all going to die to whatever the explosion is. But as you can see, also decent against grunts. Nice. So yeah, that was good. Also now I have my massively valuable grunt coupler attached, but that's what they're for. Using. Oh, look at that. There's another one. Well, he's dead. It's okay, I got a lot of them. Whoops. Well, all the grunts belong to us. 99 couplers are pretty funny. But if I'm gonna, yeah, be carrying around a bunch of these, I'm gonna use them. Not hoarding couplers here. Yep, I knew about that guy. Let's make some room. Make some room for everyone to get to shoot on in there. Heavy assault rifle plus. Do I need to repair anything? You could repair this core, I guess. The nuclear core. Could repair the armored treads. That's actually not a bad repair here, huh? Yeah, it's only 100 and whatever integrity, but I mean it's a level 1 repair station, so that's pretty good, I guess. Okay, where's that on the list here? We go J. Repair those things for me. No, no, thank you. There we go. Tom is not amused. Why are you wasting time? Alright, well, I got still got more time here. Let's do micronuclear core. Oh, we got it. Zom is mildly amused. So we got a little bit of amusement there from hacking. You know, you can't abuse that too much because, well, for one, there's a cooldown on it. You can't get that too frequently, but also you have to actually meet the other requirements for it. So it's not super common, but people are seeing it in their runs occasionally. Nice way while hacking to get a little bit of a benefit, but it's the good old Zom tile, which I will say was not easy to get in here. This, fortunately, you know, for everyone who knows Cypher, who you eventually get if you are quite a prolific hacker. For Cypher, you know, there is Anze art, which can be injected into the terminal here. You know, to get that, it was kind of a feat to get that working, because this is normally working with basic text. I had to write another different type of thing to kind of get it to be able to display in here. And be compatible with everything, and that took a bit of doing. So fortunately for the Zom tile, I was able to capitalize on that new stuff that I had added for beta 16.1. But it was also, I had to use this actual tile. These are not squares. They look like square tiles, right? But they're not. It's actually composed of smaller rectangles. So I had to convert the tile to use smaller rectangles, and that also limits the amount of the size. For example, this was the only size option I could actually pick. I'd like it a little smaller because it looks better even better when it's smaller. You know, this is the size it was designed for, to be smaller, but you know, I had to get in here somehow anyway. It just had to be done. I wanted it in here, so there is a way to see it, because it's gonna have to show he's amused anyway. So I thought it'd be a fun place to throw the tile in. It works. It works. So anyway, we got a little bit of amusement out of that. We still failed the repair. Can I get it again? Oh, come on. Never mind. Fine. Whatever. I don't need it that bad anyway. Yeah. Dosh says he was a great jump scare the first time. Yeah, the first person to see that, who was playtested it for me, you know, Winky, he was he immediately screenshotted that and sent it to me and said he got quite a surprise and was literally laughing out loud for a while when he saw that. It's a good effect, I think. I like it. So he's not only in the cover image for the release where I put together computer Zom. Alright, here we got a friend coming. Kill that guy. Well, he died fast. Alert is 2T. It actually could be higher. It's not that bad. Some regular treads. Beam rifle. Still haven't found it. High capacity storage. I'd probably hit like a terminal and try to build one or something. Alright. Yep. That's enough of you guys. They're all dead. A lot of matter. Improved heat sink. Don't need that. Alright, I've been ignoring terminals like this entire run. Oh shoot, a high power tractor beam. Alright, well I have space for that. Yay. Oh, here we go. Here's some terminals. $24, huh? Just in case. I don't actually need this, so I'm gonna check these guys. Never mind. Alright. Dosh says I typed Zom into a terminal hoping it would explode once. No, but actually, this morning, people were talking about what was it? Yeah, in the patron chat, they were talking about other. We were talking about schematics yesterday, and like Zom can give you schematics or whatever. And I said I didn't want him to be able to do something like that because it's too indirect of an effect, not very Zom-like. But then someone brought up the idea of getting schematic explosion, and then I imagined, what if yes, you inserted schematic explosion, you upload that into a scandalizer and blow it up or something like that. That would be funny. Funny, not really something I'm gonna do, I wouldn't think, but also funny. Schematic explosion. Alright, well I didn't get the manifest, but I guess I could still find out what this guy's carrying. Boom. Oh, okay. A lot of prototype energy guns. We're not very gun heavy right now, which is kind of unfortunate. We're still a very special plaything, so I need to be aware of potentials, negative shenanigans, but nothing too bad so far. Also, entertainment is high, so that's good. I guess I could try and find out what these are. Probably need another data jack, too. Alright. Heavy EM shotgun. Ah. We'll take the auto gun instead. Still running around with a data jack here. Alright, my friends have found something to shoot. Did they kill it already? Alright, there goes another one. Also some medium armor. Ooh. High-powered shotgun, deuterium engine. How much integrity does this guy have? Not a lot. Could replace the micronuclear core though. I'm just gonna let my friends do all the work. Oops. Wrong key there. Medium armor, yes, I want that. Oh, wait, what? Does it not have, what's this? Oh, whoa, never mind. It's not a better, oh, it's got better coverage, but could take it for the extra coverage, I guess. It's got less integrity, though. Armor will only replace existing armor. Higher integrity. Oh, nice. Did I lose all my friends? Where'd you guys go? Fine, I'll take the door. Oh, shoot. Yep, okay, not surprising. Uh-oh. Oh, he smiles upon you. You received a Gauss rifle. Alright, so we got a Gauss rifle. It was actually... But he dropped our... gotta pay attention because he drops the matter pod there when you do that. He can throw stuff out of your inventory again, which is not necessarily a good thing. Gauss rifle is decent at this depth. He generally gives you pretty good... or at least decent stuff, not... or even amazing stuff. So... but enhanced auto guns, if I can start stacking them, that's going to be a little better. So maybe I'll just get rid of that. He doesn't get mad or anything though. We got 20 left on the coupler here. One is almost dead. Alright, we can deal with that. Yeah. Okay, so they are all dead. My grunt coupler's mostly used up. Not entirely though, but mostly. And it's dealt with a lot of stuff so far. Alert is currently 2Y. Oh, whoops. Wrong weapon on there. He be dead. Kind of funny we're still in materials, actually. Light treads, heavy assault rifle, etc., etc. Haven't been spotted yet. Have an NC coupler. I could actually use it to drop or alert if I wanted to. I should probably do that. Me and my plus 5% accuracy. $3D down to 2S. Down to 2G. 2G, and we're out. There goes the NC coupler, doing its job. Back to the seismic detector then. Let's do that. Do a little bit of seismic detecting. Oh, shoot, there's a defender over here. Alright, well, I could stop seismic detecting and go to Sentry friend making. Boom, kill that guy for me. Yeah, he'll get a job done eventually. Alert up at 2G. Flat cannon. Scanalyzer. Ooh, I know what I want to scan. Definitely study the mall. Oh. It's out of range. Shoot. Oh, remote data jack then. Oh. What the heck? Yeah, it's only level 1 security. Damn. Too bad, too bad. Okay, can probably... Actually, I didn't find the garrison yet. I was gonna probably dive again, but our core is now 154, which people are all like, oh yeah, Zom will just like up your core for you, right? And I don't know, my core's still low. I guess I should pay attention to that. It's kind of not good to be this low. Oh, I found the garrison too. Are you kidding me? Wow, our entertainment is 99? What was the last thing? What did he notice this time? I didn't see a lot of them. Last thing was dispatching reinforcements. Okay, yeah, for that. Just being amusing. We were already kind of high. What is up here? Couple of basic things. Maybe losing friends. Ah, that might have been it. That's probably it. Probably from losing friends earlier. That's helpful for Rift then. Actually, I think if you lose enough allies, that does actually entertain him, which is pretty good considering it also drops your alert level when that happens, which is so it's kind of something that, you know, a lot of or a portion of Rift players actually, or ally users, don't mind or even enjoy is losing your allies. They're just temporary shields and weapons that can surround you and you can give orders to. That's how I generally treat them, unless I'm doing an actual bigger army build, but those take longer and I normally don't do that, but yeah. Gosh, I'd like to imagine I'm some special boy out of all the higher tier players. I think I'm the most chaotic. Losing allies is certainly one thing I do well. That does, yeah, it's helpful. I don't know, we're gonna have to do some more riff adjustments probably. I don't want to be too good because, yeah, losing, that's another thing to take into consideration there. I have to come up with a list of all the things, really. I mean, there's a couple things I had listed before, but there wasn't a whole lot I could do about it just yet. But riff nerfs as usual. I mean, riff is awesome, right? We'll see. I don't want to nerf it too much, but you know, I need it to be at least slightly balanced. The one thing that keeps me from mega nerfing it is the teleport thing, to be honest, because you know, if you do have a bunch of friends, you know, you can immediately lose them if he sends you somewhere else. But the thing is, that's actually less of a factor than it was before, because he used to do it more frequently, even as a good effect. But if you're a riff build and you're in decent shape, which riff builds often are in decent shape, it's he's less likely to do that now already. So yeah, he would have done that to you a lot more before Dash. He'll do it less now though, especially I think for riff builds. Again, this is just the latest patch, so this is brand new change. I think if you do riff now, you'll be teleported. On average, you're going to be teleported less for sure. But it is something to take into account with the balancing, because that is a negative impact, even if it's not guaranteed. Also, there's the vaults. That is the other one. That's a different one. A vault teleport will also take you away. So that's true. That's in the other option. But, you know, you get rewards for that. That's already its own separate thing. But at the same time, it's true. It's you can lose an army. We'll see what happens in the future. I mean, I don't want to mega nerf everything, obviously. And we want it to still be fun and recoverable when he does bad things. So we'll see. All right. So anyway, oh. Oh, really? Are you regretting not grabbing the Chaos Jack, whatever that was? But his vault was in view of a heavy. Yeah, the Chaos Jack's cool. That's one thing I'm hoping to get here. We'll see. Zom can do some unique things, give some unique items, multiple unique items. There's obviously unique content surrounding Zom here, in addition to just his effects. So we'll see what happens, and I can talk about those in more detail if and when we do get them. You normally do in the course of an entire run. You'll tend to get that stuff, though, at least once. Hard to use in slow prop. End up dropping. Yeah, it's probably harder on slow prop, though. It's true. I mean, it's chaotic, so that's why Zom likes it. That's why he gives it to you. It's why he likes it. It's we'll talk more about that later, though. So anyway, our entertainment now is almost maxed. Yeah, that's definitely decent. All right, so there is a garrison there. Should I go? The only question is exit garrison. Do I go in the garrison or not? I'm kind of worried about going into a garrison at 150 core. Max is only 300, but maybe it's actually, you know, we're riff, so it's probably fine. I need another data jack, though, technically. If I lose my data jack, I'm going to be in trouble. Mine's 5% coverage, 41 integrity. They'll still last a while, but it's slightly risky. Also, I don't have any more storage. The main reason to go would be for... Uh-oh. Can he get away? Can he go away? He gets away! The main reason to go would be for the riff ability, really. Just to see if we can get something neat. I'm surprised they got away from that. He just kind of waited by the door. Oh my gosh, would you reveal how much effect max entertainment has on positive effect percent? Well, I have to say that I don't know the answer, so I can't answer you, even if I want to. But I will guess. I know it's not a massive number. It is a number, however, that, I don't know, it could be adjusted in the future. That is I think a pretty big balancing factor for Zom, you know, just how much do we want it to lean towards helping the player. That's not something that's in Dungeon Crawl, again. That's something that only Cogmind has, to give you a little bit of that, a little bit more agency and control and vision into what how good it might be. I don't think it's super high. It's maybe 10-15% max, something like that. 15%. Just that's my guess right now. I don't actually remember what it is. I've been trying to remember myself, but I don't remember. I think it's something like that. It is a number. I will confirm it's a number. I don't know what it is, though. Yamaka says, I think 15% sounds right. Wow. Yamaka's like running the numbers. He knows as much as I do. I think it's something like that. It's because, you know, 15% if you max out, it sounds about right. It sounds to me like what it should be, so it's probably what I did, because it means, you know, it's beneficial, but it's not like always going to be amazing or great, you know. It's, yeah. Oh, you got 2 to 1 good to negative effects. But again, I think it's really hard to do math like that, because it also really depends on if Zom is acting during combat, out of combat, and what kind of situations you're in, because you automatically get boosts. You know, the good, it's you know, it's a formula based on not just the current piety level, but also the current surroundings and danger level, which is a big old huge formula with all kinds of stuff that plays into that. All right, so anyway, I'm waiting for those grunts to leave. Actually, I should probably have my seismic on. I have seismic, right? Yeah, here we go. Hey, Sentry. Would you like to join the crowd? Oh, wait, you know what? I probably should not do that. Shoot. Alright, can I do this without screwing it up? Oh, wait, of course I can. No, nobody can stop me. You guys can't stop me. I could take that sentry with me, but I'm going to save it for inside. Yes, 154 core. Zom, do not teleport me into danger. Depends, but I was pretty much capped for most of the run. Yeah, but I mean also that you're capped on the entertainment bonus, but also, you know, there's the danger situation. Anyway, overall it's pretty complicated. Oh yeah, wait, I can't use this. What else do I have? Like armor swap. So yeah, armor swap. Maybe we'll do that. Wonder what's inside here. Grunts. I don't have any grunt couplers. Shoot. Okay, well, the first thing I should do is take off my remote data jack. Because I don't want to lose that. That's rather important. Also, put on some armor. And I guess I'm just going to whack this guy with my maul. Don't step backwards, whatever you do. Ah, shoot. There's another guy trying to go around the back. He's going to arrive to find corpses. He might arrive to be my friend. Ooh, yes he is. Not back yet. NC replacement, Swarmer coupler. Swarmer's actually decent for the local use. Haven't had to worry too much about prop lately. I don't need a high power tractor beam right now. Wait a minute, I just dropped I just picked it back up again. That's not what I meant to pick up. Alright guys. Where are you? There you are. Oh, he turned around. He's done. He's like, alright, I saw the corpses. I'm leaving. Hello. There you go. Join me. Join me in my quest for the Riff installer. Ooh, terminal. Uh-oh, Caesar's trap. Swarmer. I could this is an example of where you might decide to remove the tracker. So removing it would instantly destroy it, but you know, Zom gives you another one, but the fact that you've already destroyed it means he's not gonna like see that you have one and not give it to you. Like you can literally carry it around in your inventory, and then he won't give you a new one because you at least have an option to use it if you want to. So if you do that, that's one way to get him to stop giving you one, even though technically he won't do that until you're, you know, after some time has passed or you're far away from an old one. Alright, so let's see. So this would be an opportunity maybe to rip it off because we already have high entertainment. Again, that does drop, you start dropping your entertainment fairly significantly, but we are in a garrison. So I think right now I'm going to use my Swarmer coupler. Oh shoot, there's an ARC. Uh-oh. What are you doing, ARC? My current vision is default. Yeah, okay. There's a hacker down there? Oh god. There's all kinds of stuff down here. Oh, there's a tracker again. Comes back pretty fast. Okay, well this isn't exactly an ideal situation. Shoot. Okay, see there's an example. I just got my heat blasted up to max. These guys are annoying enough that I think I need to do this. Not good. Also not good. Alright, you guys are still in decent shape. Crap. Man. Oh shoot, I have 16 core. Holy crap. Oh my god, I wasn't paying attention to that. Zom. Shoot, I was not paying any attention to that. I was just blasting myself into oblivion, and now Zom summoned some troopers. I lost my grunt coupler. Yeah, okay, now I might die. Oh, that's okay, that's okay. That was my fault. I should have done that. I did the Zom intro thing. Yeah. Oh, man, I forgot I came in here like this. Oh, shoot. And I lost the grunt coupler, which means I can't deal with these guys. Which would have been fine if I still had that. I lost all those couplers I was putting on ready for the middle room. Okay, that's bad. There's 4 of these guys? Oh my god. Oh my god. Zom won't revive you because you didn't sacrifice his waste. Look at my core. It's the perfect level. So I did get hit once in the core for 14 damage. I think it was. I had 15 core. Could have died right there. Oh man, come on, Zom. I need your help. All right, let me go put back on the piety tracker. Oh god. Okay. What's up there to the north? Wait again. Swarmer couplers. 1 swarmer coupler. I guess I don't need to go get that, huh? If it was anything else, maybe. Hunter couplers and see power sources. Any power sources? No. Oh, I have 900 energy still. That's, I guess, good for now. Or again, I didn't pay attention to that. Alright, what do I have for this spot here? I lost my armor, right. Okay, I guess I can put on this seismic here real quick. 12% exposed core. Okay, thank you, Zom. I put on my seismic detector and Zom immediately blinds my sensors. So that's one of his other effects. He can blind all of your sensors, including seismic, things that can't usually be blocked. Seismic normally cannot be blocked by anything, but Zom can do that. Yeah, we're blinded. So that's a new tag you can get on your sensors here. Yay. So I can't use that anymore. Put on a heatsink instead. Basically is heatsink armor, plus heat's nice. So, yeah. Anyway, hey Zentrosi, seems to be going well. It is going... I did this to myself. I can't blame Zom, it's my fault, because I didn't have to destroy my core by grenading myself. There was a lot of enemies to be sure, but all I needed to do really was back up. My normal approach is... Oh wow, my treads are almost entirely gone. My normal approach would be, if I was lower on, a little low-ish on core, I should have backed up a little and then grenaded. I thought, obviously I was hoping to kill them with fewer grenades, but I just kept launching grenade after grenade and then obliterated myself while they were attacking me. So not good. Also, there's an ARC just to the south. Wonderful. I really hope that guy doesn't see me, but I don't know. I have to make it through the middle now with 1 core. Alright, can we do this? Maybe. What's this? Is there anything useful here? Slightly useful. I don't really want to... If I get traced there, it might call nearby enemies, and I'd rather not. I need that tracker too. I wouldn't mind sitting getting that. I might die immediately when this gate opens. Oh shoot, here comes an ARC. Oh no. I do not have any grunt couplers still. That's gonna open all the doors. Ooh, he shut one of the grunts down. Thank you for doing something. Watch me kill myself with a grenade launcher. I killed myself with a grenade launcher. I missed and hit the sentry. I missed and hit the sentry. That was really close. That wasn't actually that hard. That was pretty good. I actually got pretty close there because if I hadn't hit the sentry right next to me and killed myself, I would have probably killed both swarmers, and the sentry would have helped me finish off the grunts because they were already aggroing on him, and I could have helped him with another grenade or two, and I probably would have been through the right side of the middle, and then all we'd have to do is get to the bottom right, which is probably going to be free. So I was pretty close, actually. I almost made it out of there. That was an excellent start. Yeah. Got to use one of the extra rift couplers, which was nice. I can see continuing to do that, keeping a bunch of extra couplers in inventory to hope to get those buffed. But again, Zom has a wide range of things he can do, so it takes a while, I think, for that to stack up. Probably I'd need more personal experience, but I've seen a lot of people running around with a sizable number of pretty high value couplers that were clearly from Zom. Well, not necessarily all, but the latest run, I guess, after the changes, Hermelin, though, had a bunch, but he also had code merge, so that changes things, too. Oh, but Dosh says, yeah, if you're looping multiple garrisons, they eventually show up. I mean, yeah, just in a long enough run, basically, because it is one of the effects that, it doesn't really, the restriction on that effect would be you have to be Riff. Oh, no, you don't have to be Riff, actually. You can get that effect with if you're not Riff, but you have to have couplers, and obviously if you have couplers, you're probably Riff. It's unlikely to be otherwise, but if you're just carrying around a bunch, which Riff often is, it's pretty much always going to have a source of things to upgrade. Slightly different now because it removed the non-class specific couplers, but you also pretty much always have some of those. If you're playing Riff, you're going to be carrying around, at least one or two types of those class specific couplers, so there's something in there to modify. So anyway, wow. I think I'm pretty pleased with this stream as a whole, though, because I covered pretty much everything. I covered all the basics. We got through all that stuff, except for, a few of the later, more very specific Zom content type stuff. Specific things he can give you, for example. Other things he can give you or do. There's obviously an even wider range of special effects that people get. We saw basically the core of it. That wasn't exactly a good set of permanent abilities, naturally, as I was pointing out. So that wasn't the best start for a long run. But it's also it's extra free stuff anyway. So. Yeah, so that was good. Shoot. It really shows how Zom can Zom you. Yeah, well, the big problem there was my fault, too. I really shouldn't have done I completely forgot about core integrity there. I'm focusing all on talking about Zom and playing mostly like I would normally play, except for a few changes here and there, but nading myself was a bad move there. It really shouldn't have happened. And, that's true, too. I would have had more core as well. He dropped my core. For the other effects, which I wasn't taking heavy advantage of, or really couldn't, but normally you'd have more core there. I normally wouldn't want to enter a garrison with only 150 core left. I'm not super greedy like that, but well, I would probably if I had if I had an armored build. See, in a normal Rift build, I'd be carrying more, probably be on wheels. I'd probably have more armor, in which case my core would be even better covered. And I'd then also have more data jacks because I probably would have taken high capacity by now. So that would change things too. I would enter on 150 in -8. I guess I would do that. We were still only on -8. We didn't actually make it out of materials, which means we didn't get to where Zom's effects can have even broader impact. You've got long-range teleports, which can take you across large maps. You can learn where exits are much further across the map. Vaults can be located far away. Those can have a pretty significant impact. on how larger maps play out too. Plus, of course, other branches and special effects in different branches. You know, he's got branch specific effects and whatnot too. So, usually, anyway, so I think it's a little earlier than I might normally stop a later started stream, but it's been several hours, so it's probably good enough. I don't really want to start into another, which I've kind of been doing conclusion talk here. That was, I think, a pretty good Zom summary. Now I look forward to doing another Zom run. The next one being, hey, oh my god, yeah, you missed some fun there. I killed myself, and then Zom helped me at the very end kill myself. So yeah, the next one I'll be focusing on just gameplay, right? We'll be playing an actual. Well, I'll start again anew. I'll do this. I don't know when. I might even do it this week. I don't know. It depends. I should probably get working back on the things I need to do, like the stats and even more Zom patches. Who knows? I'm gonna try and be patching less unless there's crashes, because we've already done a lot of the balance stuff. If more crashes come in, I'll patch that, but I've been patching crashes immediately. It's generally stuff that's easy to find, but it's all randomly hit. The good thing is, I was going to mention about patches and debugging with Zom is that the good thing about Zom crashes is at least they're usually not something that's going to stop the run permanently or require a fix in order to continue, or a fixed save or whatever, because all the crashes are pretty much coming from Zom effects, and Zom effects are random, right? So some of the Zom effects in very specific conditions were capable of crashing. I've fixed all the known cases, yeah, so far. There was one crash I actually haven't fixed yet, and someone got it randomly. Actually, it was the person who keeps topping, one of the players who tops the leaderboard slightly. Angel Spirit has been playing for a long time. They got I got it indirectly off the server. So one of their runs crashed. It wasn't a Zom effect, but it was also something that I didn't have enough data to fix, because I comment out a bunch of stuff for the release builds, and I didn't have data to actually catch what it might have been. I don't know if it came indirectly from a Zom effect or not, but the fact that I hadn't seen it before in a regular run means it might have indirectly, but that's harder to solve, so we'll see. I'll get more info on that later. But anyway, back to what I was saying is, there are random Zom effects in some very specific situations might crash, but if you restart the run, back with your save, the game's, it falls back on your original autosave, and it probably won't crash again because the conditions changed, and or Zom just does something completely different anyway. So it takes two to Zom. Oh, anyway, that was fun and interesting, and it would have gotten even more so, as it got further. There was a whole lot of half of it was mainly talking and discussion of the new mode. Well, not even mode. I shouldn't call it a mode. It was gonna be this was actually going to be an April Fool's release, but it wasn't going to be a mode. It was going to be actual Cogmind regular mode gameplay, which would have been funny to release that day. People, we get people who don't believe it's real, but no, it's very much real. I couldn't capitalize on that, unfortunately. It did not come in time. Very, very much too late for that. But I'm pleased with the results so far. They've turned out pretty cool. Not too many issues, and I think most people have been enjoying it quite a lot. And the other cool thing about it, it's completely optional. You don't have to do it. So it's just there as just yet another new way to play Cogmind. So with that is, I guess, the conclusion for today's stream. Start a little earlier than I expected. Stop a little earlier than I expected to. But probably a good time for me. It's already past past regular normal lunchtime. So I guess that means I can go have a semi-close to normal lunch instead of much later in the afternoon. So thanks everyone for showing up, and I'll see you all back on Discord.